instead of trying to figure out. So,
well, also with the, wow, where did that all that go? Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of, why is it asking me to say I'm not a robot? Okay, hold on. I gotta, motorcycle. That's a bike. Okay. It just made me verify that I'm not a robot. Okay. Which I am not. Okay. With the astral band. So I was talking about the live yesterday with the astral and how it has to be subliminated before we cross over this causal plane, right? The heart field, where the soul resides. But this astral plane has to be subliminated because its higher function connects to the Buddhic plane. So with what we're getting all with this orange and all of this emotion and all of this like debris that's coming up from within us and releasing, and this vast amount of pressure and depression and all of the tendrils, right, that I was talking about, like that's collective, all this stuff. Anyway, so the astral band, its higher purpose functions with the Buddhic plane for divine creativity. And so the color is still going to be orange, right? It's still going to be the orange color, but it'll go through a process of purification, which is what I was reading in with the, oh my goddess, hold on, where's it at? The book turned this page. Now I have to put a sticky note there because the book turned to this page. And the descending, what I was going to talk about, the descending of consciousness and the ascending of consciousness. So it descends down with the first ray and it ends with the seventh ray. So the first ray is the physical and it's connected into the root chakra and also the crown, because the root and the crown are intricately connected. They're at polar ends. And that's what we're going to be flipping. That's another, there's so many layers to all of this, right? We could always just say at least 3 layers, right? To the poles flipping, a perspective shift, an energetic shift. And then there's also within us, right? And we've been living in the root, we've been living in the lower 3 chakras, but really the root of fear and all of the fear and sexuality and that dense energy there. So what was I going to say? So, all right. So I was looking through, I was guided to, these are the sutras. So the light of the soul is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And thank you, Danielle, again, for sharing the PDF with us, which I loved because I can open it in Adobe and listen to it, which is my favorite thing to do, is listen and read at the same time. I only have the pocket manual of the Patanjali Sutras. Like it's a little tiny little pocket guy, like right over here, this tiny little blue thing. That's it. Itty bitty little guy. And it's the same one though. Interestingly enough, it's the same one that you shared with us. It's just mine's a pocket form. But this is the light of the soul, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And what I opened up to, well, today, I have other sticky notes in there from other days, but what caught my eye was this section that I pulled to this morning, and it was prana. And so this is Yoga Sutra 49, the means of pranayama. And I'm kind of just skipping into where I've highlighted what I want to read. Okay. And it says prana is the sum. Well, prana is not breath, though it is usually translated to breath. It is the sum total of the cosmic energy. It is the energy that is in each body, and it is most apparent manifestation is in the motion of the lungs. This motion is caused by prana drawing in the breath and is what we seek to control in pranayama. We begin by controlling the breath as the easiest way of getting control of the prana. Prana is the sum total of the energy in the body, and this applies equally to the planetary and solar body. Okay, So if our prana seed, our seed atom, which is at our seed atom in Christic teachings, right, is, oh my goddess, my hair is like, yes. Hold on. Okay, so get that shit out of the way so I can do this. Okay, so we have the seed atom that sits at the azare or in the thymus gland here. Okay, and that's the prana seed, right? The seed atom. And the thalamus, right? Or the thymus, not the thalamus. Yeah, it's skipping ahead. The thymus gland is the 8th chakra. And it's also connected to the Gaia Orion Mintaka. But that's where the seed of our soul, this is where we control, or at least taught in the Christic teachings, that this is where we will derive all of our energy from. We've done some of you guys have, not everybody, but a few of you that are in here have definitely done the integration of the Christ Star capsule, the flame bodies, Eros bodies, Manas, all that. So we've done the flame breathing. We've brought energy up into the azare. And if you've done any of the Christic newer video, like meditation exercise videos of it, integrating the flame body or integrating the what else is there? I mean, there's so many. It really happened during the stages of the integration of the Eros flame. But yeah, this here is our cosmic prana. And anyway, so within us, it's also within the collective. So what I'm feeling is being guided to say here, and I'll keep going. It deals with our etheric body. So let me continue to read before I just throw all my thoughts and stuff out here. So, because I could get all over the place with this, right? I was like, oh my God, this is going to be such a lit class. There's so many things that are just like, ding, 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 ding. Okay, so keep my ADHD, multidimensional brain focused. So first, so certain things should be remembered as one studies pranayama. First, that one of the main purposes of the etheric body is that it acts as a stimulator and the energizer of the dense physical body. Your etheric body sits the 1 inch outside. Hold on. I think I have somebody here. Nobody should be here. Charlie, you scared me. You're being so sneaky. I was like, who's here? Just a kid. Sorry. I didn't see her walk. Oh, she walked through the lanai. Sneaky snook. Okay. I was like, who's in the kitchen? Okay. I apologize. It's okay. You're fine, honey. So it's 1 inch off of the skin, this etheric, and the etheric double, and then the 7th ray connects into it's the ether. It's the ether double, right? The 7th ray is the ether body. It's the double. We've gone over this like a couple weeks ago when we were going over the rays in the beginning of the causal body conversations. And so the 7th ray is the etheric body, and again, this is the ultraviolet ray, or it's the indigo ray, but it's ultraviolet radiation, which kills off the parasites or the entities and energies and any stagnations that are, right? So the etheric body acts as a stimulator and energizer of the dense physical body. It is almost as if the dense physical body had no independent existence, but simply acted as it was swayed and motivated by the etheric body. The etheric body is the force or vital body that permeates every part of the dense vehicle. It is the background or the true substance of the physical body. So the etheric body is way more important than the physical body. It is the true essence of it. Okay. According to the nature of the force animating the etheric body, according to activity of that force in the etheric body, according to the aliveness or the sluggishness of the most important parts of the etheric body. So will be the corresponding activity of the physical body. So whatever's happening in your ether body is going to be what's happening in your physical body, essentially. And so the story goes of divine integration or healing process, right? So a lot of this, what she's saying here is that this etheric body is what permeates. It's permeating into the denseness of this body. So it's releasing all of the densities from this body, ergo seventh ray and purification of the body, and also of the collective. So I'm kind of going to jump like way ahead here and just kind of say this. What the fuck are we going to do when we have a flash, right? So there's fallen angels. We have a flash of light, or the seventh ray, and this flash of light, the plasma ray. And it's like, I'm just, what I'm visualizing, or what I'm getting as a visual, is Men in Black and the brain swipey thingy. Okay. Reset brain thing. Ching, ching. And then that's what we get. And except some people's body their etheric body is too dense, or it's not stable at all. And, but anyways, on a collective level, that's what it's doing. It's like a mass purification, a mass reset. In this case, right? Another reset. All right. I don't know. I guess I don't need to jump too far ahead, but I just wanted to say that. Okay. So the activity, so similarly and symbolically, according to the wholeness of the breathing apparatus and according to the ability of that apparatus to oxygenate and render pure the blood, so will be the health or wholeness of the dense physical body. Okay. It should also be remembered that the key to the just response of the lower and higher lies in rhythm and the ability of the physical body to respond or vibrate in rhythmic unison with the etheric body. So we're connecting into this, the etheric body of the planet, or the plane, if you will. I'm so used to saying planet, but you know what I mean, like the plane. Okay. But it in an essence, this is the heart field. And so when we're reading, what I've noticed and how we can see this in modern day is when I'm reading and esoterics, and it's talking about globes and chains, and Venus is part of this chain globe, and or part of this chain, and it has seven, each scheme has 7 globes, and then there's 7 chains and all these other things. It's like what they're talking about is each planet is an embodiment, each of the 7 sacred planets, okay, is an embodiment of the 7 rishis, or the 7 angels, and they come in and they take abode, or they're the spirits of the planets. And these 7 sacred planets that we talked about last week, right? They also have, they're a representation of the chakras of this earth scheme, is what it's called, earth scheme or plane, right? And so there's 7 sacred, although there's other energy channels in our body, we have the 7 main frame that go up our center vertical column. Okay. Just like in, with the constellations or the stars, the stellar logos, there are particular star systems. Yet when we look up at the stars, there's so many stars, but yet we have particular star systems, right? And so when we're looking at the earth, the earth's higher self is Venus. This is pretty well known even in the New Age teachings, right? Or earth's higher self is Venus. But her etheric body, her etheric body is not Venus, right? Okay. So this is going to be her. We have the sun. Each one of them is a chakra within that scheme of we're in the heart chakra. I wish I could have made I wish I would have made some. Every time I start talking, I'm like, God, I wish I would have done all these these visual aids for this. But you can fill me out here. So the earth plane, or this center, this vortex, actually I do have a vortex picture, but this vortex, right? This heart it also has the 7 sacred planets, okay, that are dimensions of expression within the being. Okay. And we work on a geocentric model. So when I popped up, I don't have Patreon. I can't open it from here, or can I? You guys can, though. You guys can go to your Patreon on your phone. Let me see if I can get into it just from here to see it. Nope, it always gives me, oh, it looks like you got lost. I don't need to go to creator home. Maybe we can just go log in. There we go. There we go. Now I just need to share. Share my screen. Okay. So specifically, like right here, this is the geocentric model. Instead of seeing it from how we see a good majority of the collective ideology of how we use astrology and whatnot. Okay, so this would be the Earth is in the center. So the geocentric means that Earth is in the center of this model. Okay, and then the closest one that we have is the moon. And then we have Mercury. And then we have, which you can see this, look, on the inside is the moon. And then we have on the second circle, we have Mercury, which went retrograde today. And then on the third line, we have Venus. And on the fourth line, we have the sun. And then the fifth line, we have Mars. And then we have Jupiter. And then we have Saturn. So that would be a true geocentric model. Or you could even put the sun and the moon on the same plane, but they're really not. That's why the moon looks so much bigger and it's closer and it's brighter. Whenever, man, when I was driving through Texas in 2019, and it was a full moon, I was coming up into right outside of Austin, like Florence, Texas. And I was looking at this giant moon. I was like, am I going to get eaten by the moon? It was so big. I mean, it wasn't in the sky. I was like coming over this hill and it was like a giant moon. And I was like, oh my God, everything is bigger in Texas. What is up with that? And it just so happened to be, it was a super moon. And it was close to, it was Thanksgiving time frame. So it was a super moon. So and it was just, I have no idea what sign it was in or anything, because if I look back, I'd be on tropical, and I don't have tropical. It was ginormous. Anyway, so I'm telling you, you would never see the sun that close. You would never see the sun that big. So again, we can see like these two are made equal, but one's closer. Okay, and so anyways, the moon is closer. I just wanted to show you guys the that geocentric model, and then well, I mean, because it's important, I'm actually going to keep that up. Okay. Because we're looking at the etheric double and, you know, this can actually even be represented within the moon body if you want to, if you will. It's the influence here. But I don't have any proof on that. So don't write that down as fact, please. Because I don't have any, she says no thing so far that I know of. And this is just in the Yoga Sutras, right? This is her rendition of the Yoga Sutras. Okay, so, but this is about becoming, okay, so we have to remember the key is to the just response, the response of the lower and higher lies in the rhythm and the rhythmic unison with the etheric body. You know what, that's going to make sense. I'm sorry, it's going to make sense. I'm not sorry, but for just throwing out what's coming through, true, not true, whatever. Okay. But the moon, yeah, the etheric body and in rhythmic unison with it. What have they done? They've taken us out of rhythm with the 13 moons and they've made it a solar cycle and a solar reality. And there's nothing wrong with the sun. I'm not demonizing the sun. Okay. But if you're going to throw us out of harmony, this would be the way to do it. And if the moon would be the representation, of our etheric double well, what does it look like? What does it reflect? Oh my God, I'm getting a download. So what does it reflect? Right? The moon, it reflects the plane, right? But just in black and white. And there it was in black and white. Okay. I don't know. It's a song, country song that just popped into my head. If it looked like we were scared to death. It's a country song. Anyways, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other. I don't know. You should have seen it in color. That's the name of the song. I think it's called You Should Have Seen It in Color. And so that's what I don't know. That just popped into my head. But the etheric double, I think, is the moon. And so if we're not in harmony and rhythm with the 13 moon cycles, as a collective, then we're going to be susceptible to all kinds of inundations and all the manipulation, all the things, because our etheric body is what essentially is protecting us and helping our physical body to, with prana, with life force, with cosmic energy. Take the moon out, demonize it, and they don't have connection to their cosmic energy. Bada bing. I mean, this is like a lot. Okay. So this is a lot about breathing. Again, this is the sutras. You can get this book. It's a great book. And always have the Patanjali one too. Don't just have that. Okay, so there's something else I wanted to talk about here. So Sutra 14, the characteristics of, wait, this is not Sutra. What is this? Hold on. Okay, it's book 2. Okay, so it's book 2 of the Yoga Sutras, okay, by Patanjali. And this is the 14th, and it's the characteristics of every object are acquired, manifesting, or latent. Much the same ideas covered in this sutra as in the previous one. In time and space, all characteristics have relative values. The goal is one, the origin is one, but owing to the differing rates of vibration of the 7 great breaths or streams of divine energy, the 7 rishis, okay, every life born forth upon them differs and is distinctive. The stage of development of the 7 lords of the rays is not equal. The unfoldment of the life of the various planetary logi, or the 7 spirits before the throne of God, is not uniform, and the atoms in their bodies, or the monads who constitute their vehicles, are therefore not uniform in unfoldment. Not all things are made equal, is what they're saying. Not all things are equal, but they have the same shit, right? Just like a twin. They might, they might have the same, but they're not exactly the same. And I've done a reading on twins that I grew up with. That was it was very good that I grew up with them, because I know them intricately. To do an astrology reading on twins is very difficult, because they have the same damn placements. So to interpret for 2 is interesting. Anyways, it went really well. But I also grew up knowing them. So that was a big, effective piece of that. All right. So the unfoldment of the life of the various planet logi, or the 7 spirits before the throne, God, is not uniform. And the atoms in their bodies, or the monads. So the atoms, again, what are we? Atoms. Or the monads that are connected to monads who constitute their vehicles, are therefore not uniform in unfoldment. In a vast subject, I don't know where I got the word in. This is a vast subject and cannot be more touched upon here. Students will find it of interest to search the information. Okay, blah. Okay, so the 7 rays, this is what they can go by, okay? The 7 rays, the 7 spirits before the throne, the 7 planetary logi, the 7 great lords, the 7 aeons, or the 7 races, the 7 emanations, and the 7 Prajapagons. Papa Johns. I don't know how to say this. Prajapagons. It sounds funny. And other less known terms, and much light will be forthcoming. Okay. All right, I'm not going to read too much more in the sutras right there. What do I want to talk about here, though? Okay, so let's talk about the planes. So the 7 worlds that correspond to the modern occult divisions of our solar systems into the 7 planes, embodying the 7 states of consciousness and enfolding 7 great types of living beings. Let's just go a little deeper into the 7. Let me get off this page so we can. Let me find anything that I have with the 7. No. But we'll just look at the Rishi then. This will just be a nice little backdrop to look at, okay? And you can just look at the 7 right here. But actually, it's right here. If you want to look in, I can zoom into this a little bit. Not too much more. That was as much as it's going to let me. But you can see Ursa Major right here. You see Draco the dragon right here. And you have Baby Bear, Polaris, right here, going around the North Pole, creating this swastika, swastika. Okay. And then Mama Bear goes around as well, right? She's protecting her baby bear from this serpent energy, this Draco dragon. Now you can kind of see how the star right here, Elatine, right? It's a little bit bigger, this right eye. Do you see how it's connection into the Polaris? Now, do you see this invisible line? Okay. So this is the influence or the cosmic evil influence. And so you can see now how they're utilizing. It's not just about going in a circular line. This is just when the sun, you know, they do a lot of solar sacrifice, okay, because it's raw worship. Solar sacrifice. So that's why they focalize on where the sun is and why they mislead us using tropical astrology. Okay. Because it's a sleight of hand tactic. Okay. But wherever the sun's at, this is when they're doing portals. So when we had the Lion's Gate, okay, we had the Lion's Gate energy right here. And then you have Virgo right here. And so where is it at? Yeah, Orion. Okay. And you're seeing this. Okay. Okay. So let's go into the 7 worlds. So the physical plane is the BHU. And it's the earth world and it's physical consciousness. I could probably type. Oh no, that would mean I'd have to pull up Canva. I'm not doing that. It takes up too much bandwidth. Okay, in the astral plane, you know what? I probably should type this out into, I probably should just type it out into Canva. It's okay. I'm sorry. But I'm not. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It is what it is. Life be life. Some people have their shit together more than others. I don't claim to have my shit together. Okay. I think that's just a copy of it. Yeah. Okay. Dun. Okay, I could just. So then we could do physical plane is BHU, or I guess BHU, and it's the earth world. All right, and physical consciousness. All right, then we have the astral plane and the anticasta. That's why I wanted to type these out, because I'm not very good at saying these names because they're in Hindi. All right, and this one is the world of emotions. I know you guys know this. And it's karmic or desire. Desire, consciousness. And then mental plane. It is the Mahindra, and it's the world of the mind and of the soul. And then we have the Buddhic plane, and it's the Mahara Para Ajapataya, and it's the Christ world. And it's the intuitional or Christ consciousness. And then you have the atomic plane. That's the jhana. And it's the spiritual world. And planetary consciousness. And then you have the monadic. And that's the tapas. No, it doesn't mean small foods. Like tapas. Okay, bad joke. And it's the divine, and it's the divine world. Okay. Divine world. And it's God conscious and world of the second aspect. And then we have the logoic plane, and that's the tatya, and it's the world of emanating, if I can spell, cause. And the world of the first aspect. Okay. Again, so I'm just putting that out there. What we have to do is we have to obliviate this. Okay, I don't want to put everybody to sleep, but we have to obliviate this one, the emotional or karmic. And that's why we C-A-R. See, I didn't even spell it right. Karmic. Why did y'all tell me to spell that wrong? Anyways, it's okay. Don't correct me while we're doing this anyways. I would go back on autocorrect. Okay. So this is why we have to obliviate it, because it's karmic and desire consciousness. But then it becomes the creative, like it'll within our bodies. Once this gets transcended, we are now dealing with this being the expression. It becomes the expression of the Buddhic plane or the Mahara Prajapayata, Christ world, intuitional. Okay. All right. Vyasa notes that the mind world, okay, the mind world, the mental plane, the what did I do? I really spoke. Mind world of the mind world, or of the soul. Okay. So this mind world here, they note that the mind world is peopled by 6 groups of gods. Oh, we don't need to get, but this is subroot race, the subrace, and the subroot races that get created. These are the sons of the mind. The 7 rishis are the Angnishvatas, referred to at length in the Secret Doctrine, which you guys can get this book too. This one's pretty cheap. And so these are portrayed as, these are the 6 sub-rays here, okay? And they're fulfilling the desires before driven by desire to incarnate. And then endowed with atomization and the other powers, therefore able to create their vehicles of manifestation, living for a mundane period, therefore incarnating during a world period. This is what the rishis do, okay? And goodly to behold, not godly, goodly to behold, for the sons of God are luminous, radiant, and full of beauty. Delighting in love, for love is the characteristic of the soul, and all sons of God or sons of mind reveal the love of the Father. Possessing bodies of their own, not caused by parents. That body not made by hands, eternal in the heavens, mentioned by St. Paul. So right here, I'm saying, in connection with the fourth world, which is our world, Vyasa notes that it is the world of mastery, therefore the home of the masters, and all liberated souls whose food is contemplation, and whose lives are for 1,000 mundane periods, therefore who have immortality. Okay, so it's really talking. This book is just talking. Well, it's a lot. It's not just talking about one or the other, but it's talking about a lot of things. So let's dive in a little bit further. Okay, and let's digress and get into this one. So the head is the father or the spiritual aspect. The solar plexus is the sun or the soul aspect, and the base of the spine is the Holy Ghost or matter aspect. So within the Christic teachings, when we're having to release these, why did I start a new share? I meant to hit stop share. Okay, so when we're releasing all of this pressure from the base of our spine, right, where the seed atom is stored at the bottom of the coccyx, right? That's where your essence is stored, but then it forms this crust over it. Right, this over the verbati, it's a verbati cell, and so this verbati cell has a crust stored over it due to all of the reversals and the crust, all of the pain and the suffering from everything is put around this. And so when we have the pan dance with the Christic teachings, where you have the ultraviolet light that comes through and it obliviates this, the fire and the ice, all right, or the heat and the cold come together, the masculine and feminine come together, they create what is red and blue come together and create ultraviolet light. Okay, it creates the ultraviolet light. Hey. And then it releases from the base of, it releases the verbati cell from within the coccyx and that crust, okay, that heat, that pressure, and it allots for it to, anyways, that's what it creates, the ultraviolet light, and it just annihilates that crust that's around the verbati cell. The verbati cell is then freed and can go up into the seed atom space, which is in the thymus gland, your azura, okay, and your azure, A-Z-U-R-A, azura or azure, however you want to say it, I don't care, okay, and so the head is the father or the spiritual aspect. Your head is the heavenly father and the spiritual aspect. Again, because everything is mental. Now, your lower mind is in your solar plexus that's inundated with all the parasites and the food and the belief systems and the logical lower manas. Okay. The solar plexus is also the sun or the soul aspect. The soul has to get released. Okay, it has to be freed from all of the impending lack or, whatever's keeping your soul stuck in cycles, which typically is these relationships or relationships with food or whatever the programs may be that you're playing out in your particular role. Okay. Also look at your sun sign. Okay. Because this is what is your sun? It's your life's fucking work, your life's work. So that's the area that you could be focusing on to do the gut clearing. I'm full of burps. So you see me like over here. Sorry. So the base of the spine is the Holy Ghost or the matter aspect. Okay. So once we free the verbati cell, it becomes the Holy Spirit that rises up into the Heavenly Father, and then it opens up the hypothalamus, it drops down, it secretes, all these things. It drops down, it activates the hypothalamus, which is the egg, the golden egg, the elixir, all these things that happen. And it's your your blood. Again, that's why it goes back to your blood and the prana and the oxygenation of the pure blood, of the Christ blood, because once this is activated, the hypothalamus is activated. And that secretion is the golden elixir is now dispersing through your bloodstream. It is now a Christed blood. christened. What happens whenever you get baptized, right? You're getting water christened. I just put water on my head. I'm realizing that I have really bad lighting. You guys can't see anything on my face and anything anyways, but anyways, I was christening myself. So the Christ, right? So this is the christening and the elixir, which allows for the Holy Spirit to rise up. You have been embodied by the Holy Spirit. Okay. We just breaking down all the religions. We're just breaking it all down now, huh? Okay. And the throat chakra is the Holy Ghost, or the creative aspect. So it's the base of the spine is the matter aspect, and the throat, oh, this is all connected with, oh my God. Yeah. So anyways, the throat is the Holy Ghost, or the creative aspect. All right. We can, this again, these are her expressions of the sutras. Okay. Her added to the sutras. So whatever else that Patanjali's put out, she's breaking it down for esoteric wisdom. Okay. It is the, what am I going to say here? Through the first spiritual life, will pour in from the monad. Through the second, the Christ principle, which is the Jinki 45, which is cosmic communion, the sixth initiation. The light of the world, the soul will work, pouring light and life on all things and using it as a great organ of awareness. Through the last, the work of creation will be carried on and the creative word sent forth. Again, divine creativity. We kind of really already know this to an extent. You guys look really bored. No. I'm just like, I know that we kind of really already know this, but again, I did say that I wanted to talk about, I know I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, but this is pertaining to the subtle bodies. And that's the squishiness. That's where we need to be, what we need to know a little bit more about. We know about the centers and these things, but getting a little bit deeper, and especially if it's in the sutras, you know what I mean? Like this to me, and you guys, I know we like the squishy stuff. Okay. Okay. So through the last, the throat, divine creativity, okay, which I'm going to say this, the work of creation will be carried on and the creative word sent forth. This general view is given so to present the student the vision of what lies ahead. It is, however, well, that was back 100 years ago, so now it's present, okay? It is the organ of the astral nature of the emotions, moods, desires, and feelings, and hence is most active in all. It is through it that the lower bodily functions are aroused, desire to eat, to drink, to procreate. And through it, the lower centers are contacted, and work with them is carried forward. In the disciple, the heart supersedes the solar plexus. In the masters, the head. Okay, so in the disciple, the heart supersedes the solar plexus, and in the masters, the head supersedes the heart. Okay. All the centers, however, are the expression of the life and love of God, and their totality and perfection express the light, the Christ life. In the center where, so this is why, again, we have to purify out that herb, the orange, right? That creative energy. It is the center wherein is carried forward the great work of transmuting all the lower and animal desires into the higher. Though it literally must be passed, through it literally must be passed the forces of the lower nature. It gathers up the forces of the body below the diaphragm and directs them upward. In the solar plexus, the animal soul becomes merged. okay, in the soul of man. And the Christ consciousness is seen to germinate. Taking taking the analogy of the antenal state of the germination of the Christ in each human being, students who have their intuition developed will see the correspondence between the activity of the solar plexus and its function and the first 3.5 months of the internal, and it's a natal period. Antenal, it's pre-digestion, the whatever, it has to do with the pre-birth. Then comes what is called the quickening, and life makes itself felt. A rising up takes place, and the correspondence that can be seen between natural psychological process and the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart. That's what I wanted to say. So the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart. Well, what are we in? It was so funny, right? Because in my live yesterday, Teresa popped up and she was talking about Virgo. I was like, and then Iris popped on and asked about, if we're in now the real Lion's Gate. I was like, no, we're in the cave, we're in the den, right? Which is why Regulus is the heart, and it's so important because it's representing the heart of Christ. And that's what we're embodying right now, okay? As a collective, as a planetary. Now, you can be on your own level and have your own integrations. Again, be a master already, right? But as a planet, that's what the fuck we're here for, is this. I mean, obviously, yes, we're here for our personal development, of course. But it really helps to see where we're at on a collective level so you can gauge and just fucking breathe, right? A big sigh of like, I still have time because I can't work any faster than my weakest link, which is going to be the earth herself, right? Because that's what we're here to do, this planetary ascension. I love that. Okay, so let's recap. The rising up takes place so that we all had a personal quickening, right? We had that dark night of the soul, personal quickening, and then it led to the planetary. All right, and then the birth of Christ in the cave of the heart. Herein lies the deep mystery of initiation, and it is only revealed to those who tread the path of discipleship to the end, to infinity and beyond. Great. Okay, being a little goofy. We are told in this sutra that knowledge as to the condition of the body comes through meditation upon this center. The reason is when man arrives at the understanding of his emotional body and of the force center through which it functions upon the physical plane, he finds that all that he is, physical and etherical, is the result of desire, of karma, and that it is his desire which chain him upon the wheel of rebirth, which chain him to the wheel of rebirth. Hence the emphasis laid by the yogi upon the basic discrimination through which a man develops the capacity to choose between the real and the unreal, which cultivates in him just as a sense of values. Okay, so the three major centers. Now, there are three major centers on a collective level, and I have that in a different book. I got to switch hands for that one. So there's our major centers, and I'm going to go over that. That's in our physical body. So we have the micro, the macro, and this is where Ursa Major and Sirius and the Pleiades and our solar system and the upper trine and the lower trine. And that gets me to this visual aid that I did create. It's just, again, I did put some stuff together, guys. I wasn't trying to be a total schmuck and not give you guys some assistance here, okay? I was creating it. I just see there, yep, didn't fill it in. All right, but again, so these seven bodies, so there's these trines exist, okay, these upper trines and lower trine. This is what it is. It creates a Star of David. Everybody wants to know what's the Star of David. What's the Star of David? It's the upper trine and the lower trine of the cosmos and how it functions through the center, which is the soul, in the center of the higher mind, the higher manas, and the expression of the higher manas. Okay, the Star of David. And in the center is Polaris, and which we see as the causal body of the collective. Polaris is the crown peak of our plane. So anyways, I wanted to show you, this is why the trines matter, because this is what it's forming. Everything is about geomancy. Everything is about geometry. Okay. And the shapes that take form from the sound of the 7 lords of heaven and the 7 7 spirits of creation, 7 builders of creation. So what I wanted to I guess I'll put a little pause in this. I'm going to explain something with the perspective shift and how we're moving. And this is, probably should have started this in the beginning, but how we're moving perspectives. Okay. We're talking about the dragon having the influence over the right eye. Okay. And what we're seeing is a shift from this demonization. Okay. To demonize yourself, to belittle yourself. This cosmic being fell, and she said, I'm not good enough. And she fell from her cosmic place. She wanted to experience herself. God wanted to experience itself. Okay. And I say it's a she because we call it Sophia. Okay. We call it Sophia, but there's a masculine and a feminine aspect in everything, but it's a cosmic being, and everything that births comes through a what? A womb man. Hence Peter talking about the womb. Okay, everything comes through a womb man, not a man, a womb man. Not to say that we don't need men, we totally do. Got to have that electric pulse, creative inspiration, like getting the ideas, thoughts, and the creative potential out there. That's the masculine's expression. That's why, like, as a hairstylist, I'll say something right now, it's kind of funny. As a hairstylist, you get really pissed off because you get these little gay guys and you get these little gay cosmetologists, and you're like, what the fuck? How are you doing so good? You're a dude. Like, what you all this stuff, right? This, I'm not trying to be any much hating or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, what? But they have so much creative expression. And I'm saying gay because you don't, well, there are straight male hairstylists, very few. Okay. But for the most part, the men that come into these fields, they're fucking amazing at hair. And this is supposed to be a female, right? Beauty industry is supposed to be a female led. Right. But you have what I'm trying to actually give props to men. That's what I'm doing. Okay. I'm trying to give props to men here. It is about balance. Yes, it is about balance. But my point is like these men come through, they have so much creative potential, but it's like only if they're tapped into their feminine, only if they're in that feminine energy. Right. Well, where do we see the feminine tapped in? Well, most of the time when they're gay. Okay. But there are some straight guys that come out and they're like, yeah, man, I'm just boss. I'm just, look at a barber, right? Barbers are typically the masculine field of cosmetology. Whereas if you're a cosmetologist and you're working on stage hair performances, it's usually women because it's very flamboyant and extra. All right. So, but anyways, if the male is balanced, or if he's even tapping into his feminine creativity, oh my God, they're amazing. Just like Jesus, he's expressing these vast, and all of the sages that have been incarnate, they're all been the ones that we know have been men, right? And they're this roomy, beautiful expressions. Richard Grant, beautiful expressions. Like when the man is balanced and tapped into his creative potential, there's a lot of expression because that's the masculine is to express. The feminine is to magnetize, to call it all together, to lead, and to like, it's connecting to the higher mind, see the bigger picture. It's intuitive. It's a different role. So you can see in this flippy flop world, how we've been pushed away from even our natural expressions. Although being a cosmetologist as a female is a very, I think that's about as close to jobs that we can do. Like as a natural, like shaman, because that's what the female would be a shaman, the wise woman and whatnot. So that's to me how I see the cosmetologist, not maybe the mainstream influencers these days. That's not what I mean, but like a real cosmetologist where you sit behind a chair and you talk and they give you all this therapy. Because that's, we're therapists, right? An unlicensed therapist, licensed with scissors, don't move. I'll cut you. All right, I'll move on. All right, what was I talking about? Okay, so we were talking about the Trinity. So we have the upper We have the upper triad and we have the lower triad, and that's what we were looking at earlier. So we have that in the cosmos. And so our upper triad is part of the Great Bear, and then the Pleiades, and oh man, and then and then the 7 planetary logos of our system. Okay. Okay. And these are what are building the kingdom here on Earth, okay, for our solar system. Each of these hierarchies furnishes the essence or the soul, and is the builder of one of the 7 kingdoms in nature. The 3 elemental kingdoms, the mineral, vegetable, animal, and then the kingdom of spiritual man. Each hierarchy furnishes the aura of one of the 7 principles in man with a specific color. Each of these hierarchies, the 7, right? It's okay. Is the ruler of one of the sacred planets. Thus, astrology came into existence and has a strictly scientific basis. All the great astrologers have admitted that man could react against the stars, which is what you see them doing in this reset, right? So this system or cycles cannot be comprehended if the spiritual action of these periods are preordained by karmic law. It has to be, so modern astrologers do not give the correspondence of the days and planets and colors correctly. There is white and black astrology. Good or bad results obtained do not depend upon the principles which are the same in the Book of Kinds, but upon the astrologer himself. Oh my gosh. What did I just skip past? Why did I go backwards so much? Okay, I went back too many pages. All right, so until the mystery of the Great Bear is revealed and is known as it is, and until the influence of the Pleiades is comprehended and the true significance of the cosmic triangle formed by, okay, the Rishis of the Great Bear, the 7 planetary logos of our solar system, and the 7 sisters of the Pleiades, okay, is revealed, the karma of the 7 sacred planets will remain unknown. All that we can see is it working out in the solar system. Intricacy of the whole subject will be apparent when it is born in the mind. And not only do these 3 groups form a cosmic triangle, but that within that triangle, many lesser triangles have been studied. Any one of the 7 rishis with one of the 7 sisters may form a subsidiary triangle, and all must thus be studied. So a further factor in the cycle computation lies the effect of the following stars and constellations upon our solar system and upon any particular planet within the system. So the Great Bear, Ursa Major, the Little Bear, Ursa Minor, the Pole Star, Polaris, the Pleiades, the constellation of Capricorn, okay, and Draco, and all other constellations and allied stars of the zodiac. The mystery is hidden in esoteric astrology, and until the subject of energy working through the etheric body of radioactivity, the etheric body and radioactivity, okay, and of the transmutation of all bodies from a lower state into a higher, is better comprehended. The true mystery of the influence of these various bodies upon each other will remain at its shit stage, unrevealed. But this was 100 years ago. Although they really, I don't know anybody that's really wrote any more about this other than her. Like I found out she got kicked out of the Theosophical Society after marrying the president. They all banned of the Theosophical Society. They all banned and kicked her ass out and said, you don't agree 100% with Helena Blavatsky, who created the Theosophical Society. So everything that she had to say was the holy only grail. If anybody said anything other or to the latter or added to it, was banished and booed off stage. Go figure. But then the one world order, the one world order, the UN adopted her fucking teachings because they knew they were true because they're the fucking truth. And is using it against humanity right now. And that's how they've created, and really since the 1950s, when the Greys came in and started making these contracts with the government, Operation Paperclip, after the Nazis and everything like that, in the 50s, whenever the Greys and all that stuff. I now I'm kind of getting on a tangent, but anyways, this is when all of the new age tropical astrology was already blowing up before the 50s. It was what people were using. I don't know why. I still can't comprehend why people used to. Oh, because they were told it's a globe. That's why. And that there's a 23.5 degree wobble. That's why. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Oh man, Danielle left the room. Okay, well, she'll come back. She's not too far. I'm sure she can probably hear me just talking right now. Okay. So right here, I can zoom in and on my Canva, right? But not on the anything. Okay. Not on the Patreon. Okay. So when we're looking at Eltonin, the right eye of Draco, Elton John, that sits above London. Okay. So this star right here is above London. Okay. And it's obviously, you can see it has a connection to what? Lyra, Vega. Okay, so this will be the future North Pole, if you will, North Star. But this is what came through and severed it. So when we're looking at the Tree of Life image from the Christic teachings, right? And we're seeing that they say it's the double-double. That's what they call it, what it's now known as the double-double. That was Armentenia and all this stuff. But anyways, Lyra Vega is the 10th universal stargate. So this is where the hold on. I'm working in this no-soliciting area. Yeah, I think all right. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Solicitors wearing red. And I said, this is a no soliciting area. And he said, thank God we have our clothes on. I don't know. Okay. Right. I'm like, what? This is a no soliciting area. Like, I don't, okay. Okay. So the North, anyways, this is the 10th universal stargate here. Okay. And Lyra Vega. And you can see that this is where the DRACO went in, and they have all that manipulation that's cut off the higher consciousness that connects us into the 11th and 12th dimension. So I don't even know where the double's at on this. I'm not going to pretend to even pretend. I'm not even going to pretend that I know where it's at. But okay. So anyways, what was I saying? DRACO, pole star. So DRACO here, pole star here, Ursa Minor, Little Bear down here, Ursa Major, Big Bear. And then we have over here in Taurus, the Hades, Aldebaran. This is the Pleiades right here. Let me put my mouse there. The Pleiades is right here. Okay. And then we have, well, it doesn't even talk, the constellation of Capricorn, which is Pila, Ophiuchus, Libra, Scorpius, over here. Sagittarius, where you see all the Milky Way. So where you're seeing all these little dots and stuff, this is the Milky Way. Okay, so it runs through the Milky Way. Okay. And then the Capricornus right here. So this is the Capricorn constellation that they're talking about. Sagittarius, and then Capricorn. So I think like, you know, this is a good enough map. I probably could have picked a better map, but this is a good enough map for you guys to start seeing it for like a full picture awareness and get that energetic synapses, because this is the cosmic mind. Okay, this is the higher mind, the heavenly mind, or the crystal castles within the mind, and how this synapsis is taking place, and then how this parasite, the DRACO energy, the parasitical energy, right, has been obscuring the light that comes and shines down through the North Pole, out through the 7 rays here of Ursa Major into our system. Okay, out steps, down steps, all this frequency. And then you can see the interference patterns here. Okay, and how that happens and why that happened. Or maybe not why, but how. Energetic synapses wise. Okay. I just got hit, you know, just little, get some aluminum in there, just deflected it a little bit. Okay. So energy in the universe can be differentiated as follows. Okay. And oh, did I move it? Oh, I did move it on the grid. My bad. Put it back on there. Okay. It can be, energy moves in these ways. So one is intercosmic, which means affecting the constellations. Interplanetary, affecting the planets. Interchain, which is affecting the chains in the planetary cycle. Interglobular, producing interchanging of force between the globes of a chain. Intersectional, affecting the transference of force between the kingdom and nature. And interhuman, interplay between men. Interatomic is the passage of force between atoms. There must also be borne in mind the play of energy which emanates from any one of the 12 constellations or signs of the zodiac, with which astrology concerns itself. This type of force is primarily concerned with the planetary stimulation, with the planetary logi, and is hidden in their karmic karma, a karma which will incidentally involve those monads and devas from which their bodies and centers are from. So that goes back to the animal kingdom and the mineral kingdom, those that we talked about just a minute ago. On the other page that I accidentally turned to, but I guess wasn't for an accident. Yeah, what is it? The 3 elemental kingdoms: mineral, vegetable, animal, and then the kingdom of spiritual man. So that's the 4 elements. So when we're thinking about the 4 representations of these 4 divine beings, okay, and that are watching over the heavens too. Again, the watchers. Okay, we have the watchers in not only in esoterics, but we also have it in the Bible. We have the angels that are holding the corners of man, and these are the constellations. So I'm trying to build a bigger picture of like everything as above, so below, as within, so without. Okay, and this unfolding of the cosmic mind or the cosmic manas. So we're going from being disciples on the plane of the heart field, okay, and we're essentially obliviating the astral plane, and we're moving out of the solar plexus, lower mind, lower manas, and into the causal plane, and that gets subliminated as well. Then the soul says, I'm not incarnating here anymore, which is the soul of Gaia, and we are the soul of Gaia. Okay, and she says, I don't want to incarnate anymore here. I'm done with all the karma. I've finished my globe chains, my 7 rays, my 7 races, my 7 sacred planets, the power of 7, which 7 is the embodiment of spirit, right? So there were 7 tabernacles ready to be inhibited by monads under 7 different karmic traditions. It's the 7, I mean, I'm pointing at here now, this is the cosmos, but below us, the earth plane, there's the 7 continents. Okay, or the tabernacles, which are churches, or the 7 lands. There were every race in its evolution is said to be born under an influence by one of the planets. And we're dealing right now with what Revelation talks about as the end times, or Satan, Saturn is the cube. Oh, and that leads me to the cube conscious, the reason why I drew up Metatron's cube up here. Okay, so this is the Saturn. Okay, so Metatron is the voice of God, and it's the Saturnian. And we in our geocentric model, okay, we come into this as the soul matrix, but it's the Saturnian matrix because Saturn is the furthest one out, and it's holding us into this Saturnian because it's the foundations or the father, and it creates the time or the experience of that we're having here in the physical matter or irid earth here. Okay. But anyways, it's Saturnian. Okay, so each, and this again, what you're seeing here is the same as the oh wait, it was a different one. So what you're seeing here is the same as it is in this down here, the Star of David, right? Okay, so this is no different. So what we're seeing with the upper triad, again, we have already gone over this. It's the Great Bear, our 7 planets in the solar system, and the Pleiades. Okay, and that's the cosmic triangle here. And then we have a lower cosmic triangle, which we'll get into that when we get a little bit further down into the book here. But this essentially is what we're seeing as Metatron. So just visualize on top of this damn triangle a circle for the Great Bear, a circle. So when you're seeing this, now you're seeing the circles. Oh shit, I see that circle. Okay, Great Bear. Okay, the sun, the solar system, our sun. Okay, and the 7 planets of our solar system right here, and then the Pleiades right here. And then there's the downward facing triangle, which is why they have the pentagram, and they have turned the star upside down that deals with Venus, and it's directing the currents of the cosmic force or prana into the hell realms. That's what the turned upside down pentagram is about. Okay. And so they're inverting the cosmic forces. And so we have all these inversions about the fallen archangels and like the Anunnaki and all this fallen. It's all bad. It's all bad. Well, what does Satan want you to believe? That everything that's good for you is bad. Everything that's good for you bad. I'm not saying that what Iyasha's brought through or anything, it just plays into the drama, but her fundamental teachings are to teach us about the etheric body. Whenever you actually dive into her work and get beyond the Voyagers and the story of them, the good versus evil, which does exist, which is the yin and the yang, it's the polar oppositing forces. Okay, this is us coming into balance. This is why I'm talking about this, and bringing up the influence here of the cosmic evil. All right. So it's very interesting. It's about a perspective shift nonetheless. Okay. It's a perspective shift for us. So we talked about the 3 major centers. Okay. And now from a cosmic perspective, now let's talk about the 3 major centers from a human perspective, which are the head center, the throat chakra, and the heart. Now, the head center consists of the brain, the pineal gland, and the pituitary body. And then the throat chakra is the larynx, the vocal cords, the palate, and the thyroid gland. Right here. Thyroid gland is right here. Oh, you can feel it. Mine's in great condition. I'm so grateful. Okay. And then the heart is the pericardium, the ventricles, the auricles with spleen affected. I've never even seen this. auricles, auricles. Okay, and then the 4 minor centers are the solar plexus, the spleen, the sacral, and the base of the spine. And the solar plexus is in the stomach. The spleen is the damn spleen. Now you know why they use it in human design, right? And then a sacral is the generative organs, our sex organs. And the base of the spine is the eliminative organs, kidney and bladder. Well, this is a big conversation of like the gay stuff's really, the homosexuality has been coming up, not in my life, but yes, it came up in a thread in a conversation. And it's not really about them having distortions or being homosexual. It's really just about sodomy, because that's where we release all of our toxins from our body. And so I don't even have a conversation here, but it's definitely been coming up a lot. And that has to do with this is a corruption of the creative matter, right? We were talking about this just like 2 minutes ago, right? When we're talking about the base of the spine, the Holy Ghost, or the matter aspect, like they're sodomizing. This is why sodomy is such a sin, because it's about the Holy Ghost, and it's purpose within the totality of man. Okay. And the Romans damn well knew all this information and still did it anyways. And that's why it's a desecration to have, it doesn't even have to be gay. Like I know straight people that I know, like me, even myself, have done this, like had, anal sex. So it's not a good thing. And this is why the anus doesn't create a natural lubricant, which should automatically tell you 100% that that's not an entrance, it's only an exit. Okay. Sorry. All right. So, all right. Let's talk about the 7 planets are the sun, brothers, and not his sons. The planetary spirits are the informing spirits of the stars in general, and of the planet especially. They rule the destinies of men who are all born under one or the other of their constellations. Each of the planets, which there's only 7 sacred, are ruled by the 7 spirits or the regents, the gods of the Ursa Major. So the God, the Father, is the first logos, and it's the electric fire, and it's the great bear. So the great bear is the God, the Father, right here. And it's the first logos, and it's electric fire. And then God, the Son, is the second logos, it's solar fire, and it's Sirius, which is over here. Canis Major, Sirius. Okay. You can see this now. Look at Polaris. Its connection into Polaris from here to here. Do you see this straight shot now? Let me just give a line. Great. That's a very thick line. Let's do thinner line. Whatever. Okay, this turned into a bigger project than I expected it to be. All right, so Polaris, I'm just going to keep this thing here, Polaris, and we just keep moving it around and seeing these connections. Okay, so here we have the Sirian connection, which is going to be the solar fire. It's Sirius, and Sirius is connected to Venus and Mercury. Venus and Mercury are within our lower expression here, well, the man expression. And then the God, the Holy Spirit, the third logos, the fire by friction, is the Pleiades, which is right here. Now, are you seeing the trines? Although I know I'm showing you from the middle, but we can go from here. Even. Just throw it damn ass in the middle. Boom. Boom. Now you're seeing triangles. That's all that I'm wanting to show you guys on these, by the way, is just to show you like the relation here with the triangles and what they're talking about, because everything is triangles. So the planetary spirit. Okay, I don't want to get into Mercury and Venus. The sun and the moon constitute the guardian angels of the 4 corners of Earth. Now, I was talking about that earlier, right? So Mercury and Venus, the sun and moon, are the guardian angels of the four corners of the earth. And that's when you see the bull, when you see which is representation of Venus, right? Because Taurus is the bull, Venus rules Taurus. Mercury, which is the man, which is Mercury rules Gemini, which is the man or the mind. And then the sun, which I think is symbolic. I honest to God think the symbolic of the eagle. Okay. And then what was the other animal? Carry on. The man, the bull, the eagle, and what was the other one? I don't remember. I just went blank on that. Okay, so let's just look it up. Four corners, guardians, and it's Bible. I don't know. No. Maybe take out the Bible part. So it's going to give me the angels. Images. Esoterics. Somebody knows it, drop it in the notes at any given time. Oh God, dang it. Four corners, esoterics. Images. Why it is not coming up. Okay, thank you for scrubbing the fuck out of Google. Oh. And now I've got just a bunch of damn religious shit and nothing else is popping up. Fantastic. Does anybody else in here know what they are off the top of their head? I mean, these are the Chinese ones.
The lion?
Lion. Thank you. The lion. Why would the lion? So the lion would be the sun. So the lion would be the sun. And then I guess the eagle would be the moon. I don't know. But anyways, okay. That was too much. I'm not finding anything. Google has been so scrubbed, you can't find anything about nothing on there anymore. I don't know. At least not right now. I couldn't, right? So the sun and the moon veil hidden planets. These are the four Maharajas connected with karma, humanity, cosmos, and man. They are the sun, or its substitute is Archangel Michael. The moon is Archangel Gabriel. And Mercury is Archangel Raphael, and Venus is Archangel Uriel. And these seven sacred planets, which we went over last week, I'll just recap again, are Saturn, which governs devotional faculties, Mercury, which governs intellectual faculties, Jupiter, which governs the sympathetic faculties, the Sun governs the governing faculties, Mars governs selfish faculties, Venus governs tenacious faculties, and the moon governs instinctual. Oh, maybe that's where the eagle, because it has such great instincts. I'm trying to make something up for that eagle right now. Okay. The seven angels who preside over the seven planets are the builders of the universe. They are the natural guardians of the seven regions of our planetary system. The seven builders graft the divine and the benefic forces on to the gross material nature of the vegetable and mineral kingdoms. The seven planetary spirits or angels are identical with the Dei Kohans of the esoteric doctrine. So, and have been transformed into the archangels through the Christian church. The seven chief deities are the rays of one boundless unity. Each of the seven chambers of the pyramid was known by the name of one of the planets. The ancient gods knew of seven planets besides the sun. The seventh with two others were mystery planets, which would be the Uranus and Neptune. So Neptune veils the moon, and Uranus. I don't know which one builds. I don't know which one builds Uranus. The solar system is a 12-petal lotus, each petal being formed of 49 lesser petals. The planetary lotus differ in each scheme. And one of the secrets of initiation is revealed when the number of the petals are opened. Okay, I'm not going to get much into that. So yeah, okay, it is. So yeah. So Ray 1 is will and power, and its method is Raja Yoga, and its governing planet, and it is the sun. I was right. Okay, I was like, I don't know, I didn't want to say it, but I did. Okay, so Uranus is represented by the sun. Okay, the cosmic higher mind, and this is the planet that it connects with. So the Ray 1 here is clothing to the tribulations of relating to astrology, the rays and the planets. So will and power, Raja Yoga. The method is Raja Yoga, and its planet is Uranus or the sun, and the color is flame. And the second is love, wisdom, intuition. And it's again the method of Raja Yoga and its connection with Mercury, the yellow rose. And the third ray, higher mind, higher mathematics, philosophy, connects with Venus, the indigo, blue, and bronze. Ray 4 is conflict, the birth of man, and its tension. Its method is tension or Hatha Yoga, and its connection with Saturn, and its color is green. Ray 5 is lower mind, and it's practical science, the moon, and violet. The color is violet. Lower mind, practical science. Sorry, the moon, and the color violet. Ray 6 is devotion, and it's Bhakti Yoga, and its connection is with Mars, and the rose and blue, the color rose blue. And the seventh ray is magic, and its method is ritual, and its planet is Jupiter, and its color is bright blue. So I know that you're gonna like hear me talk about the rays and the planets from different angles. So this one is talking about with the petals and how the petals unfold here. Okay, of the planetary logos. Is the meeting place for two types of force, spiritual and logical, or logic, which reaches him from the seven rishis of the Great Bear or their own plane, or secondly, from the Buddhic force, which is transmitted via the seven sisters of the Pleiades from a constellation called the Dragon, and from which has come the appellation of the which is the name, the nickname, appellation is the nickname, the Dragon of Wisdom. So this planetary logos is a meeting of two of these two forces, spiritual and logic, that reaches us from the seven rishis and of the Great Bear on their own plane, which is the Buddhic plane, the Buddhic force of the stratosphere in that Buddhic plane, the higher echelons, okay, within our system. And they're transmitting via the seven sisters from the Pleiades and from the Dragon, which is here, the Dragon of Wisdom. Okay, so that's how we're getting these streams out into human, into man. So the seven, the sacred and non-sacred planets and their rays, they have this here. I have that listed. You guys have access to that, to the seven rays. The seven sacred planets and their rays. I guess I can write that down. We can just go into here and let's close this out. And I'll write them right here. I should have done this. I even have any areas to write? Sure, text, boom, why not? Get it a little bit bigger. That's way too big. Alt. And so you have Vulcan in Ray 1. And it also connects to the non-sacred. These are sacred. Okay, so these are the sacred planets. And then Mercury, and that's fourth ray. And then you have Venus, 5th ray. Then you have Jupiter, 2nd ray. And then you have Saturn. Which is a 3rd ray. And then you have Neptune, which is the 6th ray. And then you have Uranus, which is the 7th ray. And these are the sacred planets. Now, don't get this shit twisted as well. Oh, wait, I like that. I just need to make it smaller. Move it over. And then boom, boom, boom. And then you have your non-sacred planets, which I'll move it out of the way. And the non-sacred is Mars, and that's the 6th ray. And then you have Earth, which we are ascending Earth. That's why she's not sacred yet. And then she's the 3rd ray, along with Saturn. And then Pluto, because that's why we've incarnated into the Saturnian, which is a sacred planet, Saturn's the soul matrix. And then we have the Saturnian cube, which was seen as Metatron, okay, which has been demonized, which has been the voice of God. Okay, the moon is also a 4th ray planet, and it's non-sacred. And then the sun, which is non-sacred, is the 2nd ray. Okay. What the fuck just happened? Get back there. Get here, double that out. Sacred. Non. There we go. There. That should be a little bit better for you guys to get, or all of us to get. I mean, I don't know all this shit off the top of my head either, guys. So just letting you know, I don't know it off the top of my head. I always go back to this stuff and look at it. Okay, the 7 sacred planets are called often the 7 grades of psychic knowledge, or the 7 divisions of the field of knowledge. So we all know what these what days of the week these are and all that stuff. And if you don't know, you guys can definitely go and look it up. It's pretty simple. Okay. Now I don't want to get too much more into like there's all kinds of stuff on this. Okay. So we're back now to the upper triangle, and then we can go down to the lower triangle now. And so the lower triad is made out of where is it at? Solar systems, planet, human being. Okay. Our solar system with the Pleiades and one, okay, so I have the triangle right next to it. Our solar system with the Pleiades and one of the stars of the Great Bear form a cosmic triangle, or an aggregation of the 3 centers in the body of the one with whom may not be said. The 7 stars of the Great Bear correspond to the 7 head centers of this great entity. So this great entity, right? And the vibration energies come to our solar system from the 7 rishis of the Great Bear, and primarily from those 2 who are the prototypes of the 7th and 5th rays of our planetary logi. The cosmic avatars represent the embodied force from Sirius and from that one of the 7 stars of the Great Bear, which is ensouled by the prototype of the Lord of the 3rd ray, major ray, which is Saturn, and the 3rd planetary logos, Saturn. The cosmic evil from the standpoint of our planet consists of the relation between that spiritual intelligent unit, or RISHI, of the superior constellation, the informing life of one of the 7 stars of the Great Bear, and our planetary prototype of one of the forces of the Pleiades, which is Alcyon. in this relation at present, whatever, it's a mystery whenever they're talking about with the cosmic evil, lies the mystery of the cosmic evil, which is when the heavenly triangle is duly equilibrated and the force circulates freely through one of the stars of the Great Bear, the Pleiades involved, and which is Alcyon, and the planetary scheme concerned, then the cosmic evil will be negated and a relative perfection will be achieved. So that's what we're coming into, is like we're negating this cosmic evil. And we're exiting the Saturnian matrix, which is ultimately what everybody is like has been demonizing. So it's the reason why I think I'm going into so much detail, which I didn't need to, but we're really, like I said, this is going to be a fire one. I don't necessarily know every time when I'm coming on, like what it is that's wanting to be transferred through all of this. So what we can recap here is that we're shifting the perspective and we're taking a more embodied microcosmic and macrocosmic look at how we are shifting, going through this planetary evolution. Now, how does this help you? Well, it's not connecting to your gene keys. I'm not even there yet, but we will eventually get to that point. But we need to understand it from the top down before we do the bottom up. Because if we do the bottom up, then it's a whole bunch of like, well, this is what he said. This is what all these different teachings. But if we're looking from the top down and we're seeing the influence of the prana or the cosmic force that's coming through us, then we can align to the cosmic knowledge instead of the fucking mundane person that's been down here saying this, that, or the other from their own impeded or confoogled DNA. Right? I have never known anybody to go through the esoterics like this. I mean, even in the Arcan, they have a school. They don't necessarily, they go through it, but I don't hear anybody talking about esoteric astrology. Not a fucking one of these new agers. All I hear is the new age shit, the new age shit, the new age shit. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody in a bandwagon of space and aliens and all this shit. Like none of that is mentioned in any of her books about aliens ever. So I'm trying to come from this top down, like understanding, like, okay, it's triangles and it's angles and it's sound and geometry and frequency, and it's the rays, the builders of this, what create this hologram, right? And so all that energy comes up from inside that toroidal field, it gets pushed up, and then it gets distributed out through the DRACO and through the Ursa Major and through the Pleiades and Sirius, and the embodiments of these masters or the avatars come through Sirius. That's where they have that Sirian connection, is the ascended masters, and that connects directly to Venus. And the last avatar that was here, aside from Jesus, was Sanat Kumar, who was Sananda, right? Or it's another word for Jesus, who was king of Venus, right? Okay, so we have all these folklores and passed down. So I'm just trying to like synthesize this bigger awareness, because we're going to start pinpointing, like, I don't know when, like eventually we will start pinpointing the gene keys and have more awareness about the star systems and the energetic forces that they're emanating. And understanding that, like not from the seven sacred seals perspective like that, but understanding even the psychology or the acidic states, the emanations, the higher frequencies of these emanations. I don't know. I was going to say something wise and then it just slipped away. Must not have been wise. It might have been a wise ass comment coming through. I'm not perfect by no means, but I'm trying to figure this shit out or understand it better. I don't try to figure nothing out. I just try to understand it when it's speaking to me. So the seven sisters, obviously, are the wives of the Great Bear. So there's a lot of connection between between the Great Bear and the Pleiades right here. it's direct because I've got the thing here that's pointed at it directly, which really makes me wonder. The brightest star here is right here on the Polaris, by the way. I don't know the name of it. Alkaid, ALKAID, Alkaid. Let me type it in. Great Bear star. Ursa. Okay. Eta Ursa Major Alkaid formerly is a star in the constellation. It is the most eastern or leftmost star in the Big Dipper. Well, that's the one that came to my mind. So I don't really know, but anyways, that's the one that came to my mind. I probably should look at I think if we looked, I'm stumbling over my thoughts and they're not coming out fully in sentence. I'm sorry. If we look into the Arabic mythos about that, I think that it has some more detail on that star system. Okay. What else? Okay, yeah. So Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn might be considered as the vehicles of these three super or major principles. Mercury, Earth, and Mars are closely allied to these three, but a hidden mystery lies here. Okay, so where is my other triangle? I typically put a triangle next to the triangles, so the triads here. But I didn't do that in this one. Great. There it is. Our solar system with the Pleiades and one of the great stars form a cosmic triangle, or an aggregation of the centers in the body of the one who may not be said. Okay. Sirius, the Pleiades, and our sun form a cosmic triangle. So then there's Sirius, Pleiades, and our sun. So we have we have those two triangles, right? So the first one was the Great Bear, the 7 planets of our solar system, and the Pleiades. And then the other one is the Pleiades, the sun, Sirius, source of the logic mind, heavenly man, Venus, Sirius, the Pleiades, and our sun form that cosmic triangle. Yeah, so then that's where the Pleiades come in. So Sirius, the Pleiades, and then our sun form the other cosmic triangle. The Pleiades are negatively polarized to our scheme. So they're negative, which is feminine, to our scheme, which is masculine. So the Great Bear, the father, masculine electric, okay? And then the Pleiades are the positive, feminine. So we're talking constellations here, right? Okay, so now we're seeing the Heavenly Mother and the Heavenly Father come together. I think I'm like boring the shit out of you guys with this one. Okay, but we got to get through it. This one's cosmic fire, burning. I guess I'm burning the shit out of you instead of boring the shit out of you. Okay, not funny. So here it is with I know I should have made so many more things. The 7 sisters of Pleiades form that one in particular who is occultly termed the wife of the planetary logos, whose scheme will eventually receive the seeds of life from our planet, which is not considered a sacred planet, Alcyon. So the cosmic evil consists in the relation between that spiritual intelligent unit, or the RISHI, of the superior constellation, as he is called, who is informing life of one of the 7 stars of the Great Bear. And I feel like Al-Qaeda. Oh, I get it. The evil one and the name. Did anybody else get that before I got that? No? Okay, cool. Al-Qaeda, that's the evil one. That's okay. So now we see it playing out. Okay, that just popped in. Okay, so I'm getting it now, sort of. Okay, so the 7 rishis. Okay, I totally get it now. So we're overturning this cosmic evil, the Al-Qaeda, and that evil, cosmic evil, that has been inundating our solar system. So if we want to look back at the bear, go back to the rishis, Al-Qaeda, which is right here, has been intervening and creating and harmonizing with the great evil of this cosmic evil eye right here. Okay, and manipulating. So that would be, I mean, each one of the archangels. So we just need to find, okay, let's find it. I don't know. Al-Qaeda, Eartha Major, and the archangels. Let's see. Distance, there's the major. Maybe that's not the right one. No, Al-Qaeda is the tip. This is Dubi, so I'm on the wrong spot. Hey, I'm okay. I'm not too prideful to change. Now that makes more sense with this correlation here. Yeah, with this correlation here and this fucker here. This makes more sense. Okay, with the manipulation. Okay, and so the end is the beginning is the end. And so this would be, I don't know which archangel it would be or representation of. I could just say it would be the 7th angel. Okay. Or maybe that was Metatron. Maybe this was the first fucking angel, the first star. It's the brightest, right? So maybe it was the first star, maybe it was Metatron, maybe he like all the Metatron's cube utilize the information to keep us locked in the soul system, to keep us looping in the soul siphoning system. I don't think Saturn is to blame at all there. I mean, but it is the abode. So, oh yeah, Metatron took the abode of Saturn because he has the ability to downstep his consciousness into the planetary bodies. And then they encapsulated us into the Metatronic cube of consciousness, which is right here, the cube, which Metatron's cube, which is, this one is the, okay, this is the earth, the cube, the heterodon, the octodon, which is this one's the air. So each one of them, okay. The element, so it kept us looping in the kingdom of the mineral, vegetable, and animal kingdom and the soul of man. Oh my God, why does it all feel like it's all clicking into pace? Watch, we get off this live and everything's just like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, damn it, I wish I was recording all of this in my mind, like outwardly. This is awesome. So it's obviously starting to click for you guys too. Cool. All right. This is the fucking esoteric hidden shit. This is how we're changing the perspective by walking through it. Really, is it that simple? Is that we can come together in a group study or like a Bible study or an esoteric study, and we're like unplugging the mysteries of the world, like, and then it just starts to ripple out like la, 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 out into the collective, and all we had to do is sit around in a group and have a book study. Like, this is cool. All right. So that's the cosmic evil, Al-Qaeda. And then it's played out here as they're the terrorists. I mean, terrorists. I keep saying that. But they are, because so many people, I mean, I don't want to say that because I use tarot. A lot of great friends of mine use tarot, and I'm not trying to demonize that at all. But I'm talking about the ones that are out there, the angels, this, that, and the other. Those are the demons. Those are the terrorists. Those are the demons. But they're all playing out the planetary karma and the cosmic karma. Oh my God, this just makes, I feel like all karma just got resolved in my DNA, just in that split moment of like putting those little pinpoints together on the map. Wasn't that just adorable? I mean, we're not even getting into the deep, like, it's so fucking, I have so many things I want to say. And not in comparison, but it is in comparison, because there's like so many people sit here and talk about cosmic astrology and this, that, or the other, but nobody's putting this shit together. What the fuck does it matter? The influence of a past age or aeon or what that star system represents if we don't understand the basis of what the fuck it was meant to begin with. Like that's why it's like I can't listen to other astrologers. I was like, it's all stupid poppycock, dumb. I can't align to star astrology because I'm like, I just don't know. And anything that you're just bringing through is coming through a demon. Period. Point blank. You're channeling it. It's coming through the inside of you. Can it really come from inside of you if you're like not coherent? Like, I mean, but Richard Rudd has gone through these. He knows all this shit. His family's rich, wealthy. He has a library card to the Vatican Library. He better well fucking know this information. If I had a card to the library, the Vatican Library, I would never leave it. I would be in there and I would be like living everybody all the time about all the wisdom that I'm like synthesizing. Oh, anyways. Okay. So Sirius was called the dog star. It is the star of Mercury or Buddha. And guess where that's at? Let's go look. Let's look at our little Jimmy rigged, star map here. Okay. So Gemini, what were we talking about? Sirius, right? So Sirius is right here. It's the dog star, Canis Major. Okay. And it's connected to Gemini. Well, that is way the fuck. Right, wrong direction. Wait. Taurus, Gemini, right here. Right here. So we're in Gemini, like right fucking here. Do you see that? And so this is the Buddha, or the Mercury is the rules the manas or the Kundalini. I think I skipped that piece. I didn't even talk about it. Okay, I did skip that piece. Yeah, Mercury. I've said this so many times before I even read it out of the book. I was like, Mercury is the Kundalini. Mercury's in retrograde. So it's the Kundalini. Every time we have Mercury retrograde, it's the opportunity to rise. The collective is rising. That Kundalini is going to go, it retrogrades, goes back down from up here being all blah, talking blah, 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 really fast, all the things going 90 miles an hour. And then retrograde goes, boom, stops, drop, Hematon. And it goes down the neck, from the brain, down the spine, because it's the antennas. Right? We have Mercury is the antennas, so it's the brain, and then it stops and it goes down in retrograde, goes down to the base of the spine and brings it all the way back up. Woo-hoo. And that's why we have revelations and, oh my God, I can't believe I learned this or that. And then my favorite time is Mercury retrograde. Like one of my favorite times. Venus retrograde don't fuck me up. Venus retrogrades fuck me up every time. But Mercury retrogrades, I love that shit. I love it. Even when the technology is wiki, I still love it. All right. So Mercury, or Buddha, called the great instructor of mankind. Oh yeah, by the way, I am a Gemini ascendant. I just got to throw that. That's why I'm like, okay. So the sun, Sirius, is the source of the logoic mind. Oh shit. So we see here the lower man mind and the Kundalini. So what the fuck is happening when we think of a greater body? If the higher mind, the logos mind, right? The higher mind is Sirius, and then Mercury is controlling. So what the fuck are we doing? We got a Kundalini energy rising up into the higher mind. Love it. Okay. And then, okay, so the sun Sirius is the source of the logoic mind, the manas, in the same sense as the Pleiades are connected with the evolution of the mind of the 7 heavenly men, because it takes women to evolve, or intuition to evolve the logoic mind, even of the manas, of the heavenly man, which is the 7 stars in Ursa Major. Okay. And in the 7 heavenly men. And Venus is responsible for the coming in of mind in the earth chain. And that's why it'll be fucking me up. So Venus is responsible for the coming in of mind in the earth chain. So she's the higher mind of the earth, right? She's the higher self of the earth. So she's essentially, and she's connected to Sirius, right? She's part of the Sirius scheme, the higher mind scheme. Anyway, so she's helping to assist humanity. This is why a lot of us here are all Venusian. We're Venusian beings. Okay, we're connected not to the moon chain, but to the Venusian chain. Okay, because we have higher mind, higher manas, higher awareness, the ability to bing, 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 bing. I call it thinker, tinker. Okay, thinker, tinker. I think she likes that one. Yeah. Anyways, and then we're evolving the lower manas on the earth chain. We're evolving the, yeah, you get it. I don't need to repeat that 500 times in a row. Sirius, the Pleiades, and our sun form the cosmic triangle. Sirius, the Pleiades, and our sun form that cosmic triangle. Now that's that lower triangle that I was talking to you about, because it's not that it's less, that it means less, or that it's less valuable. It's evolving again, because it's Sirius, which deals with the logos, and the Pleiades and our sun. So it's assisting right here, the earth, or the downward portion of the triangle, the hell realms, okay, because it points down. Oh, get over here, don't run away. It's pointing down, so it's, again, the energy force is pointed down into the earth, or our sun. And then you have Pleiades, and then you have Sirius, Pleiades, and then earth, the sun, our solar system, at the tip of that. And that's what's assisting with the cosmic force from above to be brought down to evolve us back up, that prana. Okay, the sutras, and following the breath, or not really, whatever. Our solar system is negatively polarized as regards to the sun, Sirius. Our solar system is negatively polarized in regards to the sun, Sirius, which would be positively polarized. Its sun is the electric element, and then our sun would be the magnetic element, even though our sun is not magnetic. Get it? Got it? Anyways, neither here nor there. Which influences our entire system psychologically via the three synthesizing schemes of Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. So the three synthesizers in our solar system are, number one, Uranus, the seventh ray. Number two, Neptune. Okay. And number three, Saturn. And so Uranus is the seventh ray, Neptune is the sixth ray, and Saturn is the third ray. Okay. Vibrations reach us from Sirius via the cosmic mental plane. The lords of karma on our system are under the rule of the greater lord of karma on Sirius. We are governed by the Sirian lord of karma. The consciousness of the cosmic mental plane is the goal of attainment for our solar logos, for our sun. And the Sirian logos is to our solar logos what the human ego or soul is to the human personality. Now, ego is not personality, FYI. That's another thing that I think you guys know too. There's personality, there's soul, which is ego, and then there's the higher mind, manas. And those are the three aspects of our sun, of us going through that's the Trinity expression, or personality to soul to Christ consciousness, higher manas, the threefold embodiment. Cosmic avatars represent embodied forces from the following cosmic centers: Sirius, and that one of the 7 stars of the Great Bear, which is ensouled by the prototype of the Lord of the third ray, Saturn, and our own cosmic center. So they're not describing. So it's Alcade, however you say that name, Alcade, right? And our own cosmic center. So the prototype of the Lord of the third ray. So this would be this is the one that they're not mentioning. Okay, she's not saying the words of. Only one being from Sirius has ever visited our system. That's Sanat Kumar. They only appear usually and normally at the initiation of a solar logos, which is what we have going on right now. Which is, you know, it really reminds me of Iyasha. Like, I know that you guys are, well, I don't know anything. I could assume that you guys haven't watched as much of the Christic teachings as I have. But that woman is constantly channeling Venus, and she's always talking about the council this and the councils, the guardians this. Everything has always been Venusian and Syrian. She's a Syrian. So it leads me to believe, and she's been anti-Archangel Metatron. It's just, she's getting it in different ways than it's brought through in Esoterics, like, which was 100 years ago. But I'm almost going to guarantee you guys that she's our avatar in this incarnation from Sirius. Like, I'm almost going to guarantee that she's our modern day Sanat Kumar, or, you know, Jesus or Buddha. Okay. And I know that it's a different timeline, like the whole way that we are. Like 100 years ago, we had way more education, like in our speech and the way we think and express. There was no globe Earth. And well, no, they had just started to indoctrinate globe Earth. In the 20s, they were still teaching the Earth was flat. Okay. But it wasn't until like the 30s, 40s, 50s is when it went mainstream that, it's just a globe. It's no longer a discussion. It's a globe, because now we've gone to the moon. Right? The the manipulation started happening majorly. So I'm almost guaranteeing that she's definitely, the amount of information that woman has brought through about Metatron, reversals. I mean, I'm almost guaranteeing she's our Sanat Kumar, our avatar. And we're just the monad of that, or the fractal of her. Like, so when Sanat Kumar came, he brought 200,000 Venusians. So you can go Google this. He brought 200,000 Venusians with him, plus like other beings from other planetary schemes said, no, we're going to incarnate here too. So there was like 500,000 light workers that came during for the sixth root race, which was Tartaria, which was the great Tartary, and all of the star forts and all that stuff. So you can really see, like, that's very Venusian to have sound, harmony, all the bees and the bee symbology everywhere. Venus, the great synthesizer, like the great weaver, the harmonizer, the balance, Venus, Libra, the builder, Taurus, like, get it? Very Venusian energy. And that was Tartarian, right? And that was 1,000-year reign. Hello. My dog. Okay. She's so cute. Where was I going with that? Okay. So yeah, so why wouldn't she incarnate as, like, okay, so anyways, like the 200,000 Venusians came. And so these are the spirits or the essences that are from, or from the scheme, or even from Sirius. But in order to get from like Sirius, like so with her teachings, right? So the down step from Andromeda, okay, the last thing that down steps, so Uranus, we've gone through this. I'm not going in again. The last one is Venus. Okay. But Venus connects to Sirius. And then that Sirian, okay, that's how everything down steps from Andromeda to Sirius to Venus, into our scheme, into our, okay. So that's how the body, or our essences have had to down step. And this is how we're stepping back out and up. We're ascending it back up. Although she was like, oh, we're not doing the irregular ascension, all this stuff. So there was like kinks and all these karmic things that were still needing to unfold. It's very, 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 very interesting. My mind is going amazingly crazy right now. I can't believe I'm containing my words. Okay. So Jupiter is the deity who is the symbol and the prototype of the ritualistic worship. Ritualistic worship. So when he is the priest, the sacrificer, the supplement, and the medium through which the prayers of mortals reach the gods. So he is Zeus. This is, the god of gods, right? This is the alpha male of the energies here. He's the benevolent, he's the giver, he's the one that went out and slept with everybody and got all of these demigods going on. So he's the whore of Babylon. I'm kidding. But yeah, right. But he's a whore. He's out, but he essentially, this is him giving his energy. It's like I would be considered a Jupiterian being, right? I was born with Jupiter, Venus, Moon, like stallion. So I have a lot of this Jupiterian energy, and in Sagittarius, where it's exonerated. So I very much a Jupiterian energy, which is like, I was very lustful. I went out and gave my vagina to a lot of people that I don't even remember anymore. Right. So it doesn't matter anyways. But the thing is that I had that same quality of wanting to give. And so when we're hearing, I'm coming from an inverted place because I had a lot of sexual trauma. My Saturn, like right there in my 5th house, like there's going to be a lot of trauma that keeps me from being creative with my father, which is representation of Saturn, and your husband is your husband is a representation of Jupiter. And then I have the moon there, which is malevolent. So my moon is my emotions and being when you get this shit and you start looking at it, your chart, you're gonna fucking ring a dang dang. I understand these things, okay? But Jupiter is, when it's saying here, he is the medium through which the prayers of mortals reach the gods. The gods are the stars, the heavens, the angels, okay? The many gods, but the not one God creator, the infinite I am all. But essentially the gods are God creation because God created them and God's in them too. So we can't throw that out anymore. We have to start seeing the totality. And I think that's why there's toroidal field, even though Eosha's teachings are anti-toroidal, don't do the toroidal field, it's not real, it's a spiral of whatever the fuck. Again, and I don't know if she's really like, there's just too many here's and there's with her stuff. But anyways, so the medium through which the prayers reach the mortals. So this is who Janus worship. The Janus, the god, this is Jupiter worship or Zeus worship, and how it was inverted to the sacrificer and the like benevolent. And I'm not to say that the entity that took on the embodiment of Jupiter, who was like Saturn and Jupiter are both children of, Jupiter is a child of Saturn. And Saturn is a child of Kronos. Kronos is actually Uranus, right? So I'm trying to figure out which Jupiter is which archangel. I'm trying to attach it again to these storylines. So anyways, okay. But anyways, he's who they give all of this inverted prayer and alkalides to. Alkalides. Ooh, that word is just coming up all over for me, huh? Ooh, the cosmic evil. Jupiter is a personification of cyclical law. The sun is used to be called the eye of Jupiter. Plato makes Jupiter the logos, or the word of the sun. The mysteries were presided over by Jupiter and Saturn. Occultism makes Jupiter blue. Ooh, Project Bluebeam, right? Makes Jupiter blue because he is the son of Saturn. I just said that. The sun of the Messiah's coming is the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. Which was in 1998, April of 1998. It says that they were conjunct. That's not going to happen. The Messiah is already here. It's whenever they're in Pisces. Okay. Mercury is the beginning to get out of the state of obscuration. Mercury has no satellite. Mercury is a serpentary chain. Mercury is far older than the Earth. Mercury is called the first of the celestial gods, the god Hermes, to which god is attributed the invention of and the first initiation of men into magic. Mercury, which is Hermes Trismegistus, which is thought, right? So now we can stop demonizing this shit. I want to stop demonizing all of this stuff, right? That's the idea, and how we're changing the perspective and seeing these bigger pictures. And with Jupiter, you know, they know how to, like, the powers that be know how through ritual. Okay, they're utilizing Uranus, the seventh ray of ceremonial magic, which is going to be the crown chakra, which is going to be your creative energy chakra. Okay, because Uranus will be not only connected into the sacral plexus, the seventh ray is there, ceremonial order through magic. And that's why there's a lot of sexual misogyny, all that stuff out there, because Uranus deals with the sacral plexus, and also deals with the indigo ray, which would be the indigo is the ajna, right? Yeah. The ajna. And then the crown is the violet. No, the violet is the ajna, and the seventh is the indigo. And so that, again, the beginning is the end, the end, the beginning. So that's why they do all the that's why they manipulate the way that they do. Mercury is called Hermes and Venus is Aphrodite's. And this, when they come together, they're in that conjunction. It's a psychophysical plane that gives them the name hermaphrodite. Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn might be considered as the vehicles of the three super or major principles. Mercury, Earth, and Mars are closely allied as the three but hidden mysteries lie there. Mercury is the Kundalini rising. I've already said that. Moon veils the planet Neptune. All right, so I'm pretty good on explaining that for today in that book, and then we want to get to the four minor centers. We talked about that, and then I want to get to leave that one, the brain, the nervous system. Oh, Raja yoga, because we're dealing with divine will. Divine will is Raja yoga, which is based upon the understanding of nature, purpose, and function. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing Raja yoga in this call. You could probably go back and change the title to Raja yoga, but we have gone over DRACO. We have gone over SIRIUS. We have gone over the Pleiades. Like, I knew it'd be fire. I just didn't know what kind of fire we're dealing with, right? I feel like I've sucked at delivery on this, but I'm doing my damn best. I kind of feel like I've kind of just gave this, that, and it's kind of all over the place, like scattered. But I think if we watch it, like for me, I'm going to understand it and retain it because I've already read it all, and it's kind of clicky for me because I should have put it all in. Anyways, so I'm in the thinker mode. The basic law of science can be summed up in the words, energy follows thought. And the sequence of activity might be stated as the thinker on his own plane formulates a thought embodying some purpose or desire. The mind vibrates in response to the idea and simultaneously produces a corresponding reaction in the karmic desire or emotional body, astral body. The energy body, the etheric sheath vibrates synchronously, and thereby the brain responds and energizes the nerve system through the dense physical body so that the impulse of the thinker works out into physical plane activity. There is a close connection between the mind and the nervous system, which is why Mercury governs Gemini, the mind, the thinker, and Virgo, the body. Yeah, Raja Yoga. So there's a close connection between the mind, the brain, and the nervous system. And this triplicity must be carefully borne in mind by the student of Raja Yoga in the initial stage of his work. Man, I would have just had the thinker, the mind, and the brain. The thinker, the mind, and the brain. And again, you can break that down to personality, ego, and higher mind. Okay. It is through an understanding of the method of energizing the nerves that the thinker can galvanize its instrument into activity during incarnation and similarly produce trance, samadhi, or death. The same basic knowledge enables the adept to raise a dead body, as Christ did in Palestine, or occupy the vehicle of a disciple for the purpose of service, as Christ occupied the body of the disciple Jesus. Oh, sugar snaps and holy peas. This knowledge and its use are, this is again, I'm in this, the light of the soul, which are the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This knowledge and its use, we are told, is subject to the great law of karma, of cause and effect. And even the Christ himself may not set the law aside in any case unless there is adequate weakening of the cause producing the bondage. Okay, and that was Yoga Sutra, second book, Sutra 38. By liberation, this one says, by liberation from the causes of bondage through their weakening, and by the understanding of the mode of transference, withdrawal or entrance, the mind stuff or the chitta can enter another body. So he's talking about transference of mind and how the study of Raja Yoga, which the fuck we all just did, all just went through a Raja Yoga like class, like again, seeing the higher mind, how they synthesize or the synapses of that corresponds. And then you also have the, you know, the crown that sits above the, what am I being guided to get? I'm being guided to get something, the Patanjali thing. Hold on. 39, second book. Because if I'm not wrong, which I might be, yeah, I'm not wrong. Yeah. So in this book, Patanjali, his Yoga Sutras, he didn't, there's 200 of them. He didn't do them all. He only took out the ones that he wanted. So where am I finding? I'm not finding the 39 here. Oh, I'm in the fourth book. That's why, girl. Go to the second book. 39. Let's go there. He didn't write them all out. He only did the ones that he felt were important, right? Okay, 39. And from his what it said. Oh no, it's 38. I guess I was reading the wrong one. Why did I say 39? I guess I need to read it 39. Okay. Is this book 2? Yeah, okay. It says here, by one established in continence, vigor is gained. By getting established in continence or celibacy, we save energy. The seminal fluid gives strength, and the stamina in the brain and nerves. Nervous debility is caused by a lack of stamina because it has all been drained away. If stored properly, it can bring a lot of energy. When absorbed into the system, it gets transformed into prana. Oh my God. So this is all coming full circle for me right now. Do y'all see how this is weaved around? Yeah. Okay. Conserved sexual energy in women also gets transformed. It is the vital force that allows you to really help people and have good relationships. Without much prana, we can never give anything to anybody. Just only just as only a fully charged battery can only give power, never a weak one. All right. In observing, I'm not going to pronounce that, we build up this energy, Brahmacharya, experiencing, observing this Brahmacharya, we build up this energy. Expressing your love and affection without overindulgence is not wrong. It is part of nature. Even couples that don't plan to have children should have limitations. Even animals have restrictions. Once a female dog is pregnant, no male can come near her. A lioness brings forth a cub once a year. Certain animals won't even mate in front of others, like elephants, for example. So in your own way, according to your stage of life, you have limitations. By observing celibacy, we preserve not just physical energy alone, but mental, moral, intellectual, and ultimately spiritual energy as well. Sexual energy that is preserved gets transformed into subtle energy called ohas. This is similar to personal magnetism. It tones the entire personality, builds the nerves, improves brain power, and calms the mind. There is a similar word to ohas in English called ozone. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. In the early morning before sunrise, we can go out and breathe the ozonic wind, which has a special vibration and energy to it. But once the sun's rays fall, this effect is lost. That's why the period between 4 and 6 a.m. is called the Brahma Ruta. I suck at this. The Brahmic time, or divine period, it is a very sacred time to meditate. Ohas, when stored, creates Tejas. Tejas is the aura or the glow. A newspaper reporter once wrote an article about me called "The Swami Makes the People Glow." How can the Swami do this? Is it some particular yogic makeup? No. Everyone can glow and can transmit the energy when they preserve a lot of ohas. This is why continence, celibacy is very important part of yoga. If a handful of people come forward with strong wills, nothing is impossible. One Buddha changed half the world. One Jesus, 3/4 of the world. Oh, one Buddha changed half the world. It says globe. One Jesus, 3/4 of the world. We all have the capacity. Let us know the value of celibacy, or Brahma, that it certainly will take us strong, happy, healthy, wealthy, and blissful. So, and that was what we were talking about, obviously the prana, that's the beginning of this whole thing, was like the breath. Well, it's not the breath. Prana is the cosmic life force. And so I guess you can see this as like, wow. So yeah. The entire science of Raja Yoga is based upon the understanding of the nature, purpose, and function of the mind. So from his perspective, it's talking about abstinence, essentially, abstaining from sexual intercourse. And then from her perspective, it's about understanding the nature, purpose, and function of the mind. The basic law of science can be summed up in the words of energy follows thought. And the sequence of activity might be stated as follows. Are we sure? Oh no, that's the third book. I just read two totally different things. Dadgummit. Well, anyways, it brought us back to prana. I'm sorry. In the third book, and the 38, what did she talk about? Okay, so that's the 46. Where's the beginning of the third book?
It is interesting, just the variances in the contemplations. Danielle, do you just have the one version, or do you have a couple of different contemplations?
No, I just have the one version, and I haven't read it in like 7 years. So just when she mentioned it, that's when I was like, oh, I better read this. But since I was having all those issues with my thoughts, I was like, oh, this is perfect timing.
I had never heard of any of this until you posted, and then I spent 2 to 3 hours just kind of going through, looking at YouTube, looking at reading some of what was in the PDF, and then now knowing that really everything's come out as people's contemplations. He has 198, Carrie Ann, that much I know.
Oh,
If I
198.
were on Jeopardy, I'd get it right.
Well, in the beginning, it says like, because you can hit in the audio part of it, like, or if you open her PDF up of Adobe and there's 3 little tabs in the corner, or even if you just highlight one of the words and you hit a highlight, open up at the bottom of it, it says read aloud, and it'll read the entire thing aloud. So, and it said 200 sutras or whatever, and I was like, okay, but if there's 198, there's 198.
But I like the different contemplations, that it's interesting that way.
It is. And so the 38 here on the third book, and there is no extension. I just literally just says what it is. So he didn't give a depth to this one, like she did. But it says these super physical senses are obstacles to samhati, but are cities, powers, or accomplishments in the worldly pursuits. So let's get into the cities, the world. And so we're kind of seeing like how the gene keys, now we can see how we're synthesizing the sutras of Patanjali, okay, in with esoterics and the mind and how it operates. And then we can go into the cities and the 64 and the gene keys with this. Like, how fucking fire is all of our classes going to be from now on if I even just talk about the sutras and go through this, like how powerful these classes and this, and just activating, like how activating is what I mean, how activating within our bodies, like these worldly, these abilities in the mind, like the masters are in the mind, the heart is for the soul, and then the lower mind is for the mundane man, and then the heart is for the disciple, and then the disciple is for the mind, the lower mind, the heart is for the initiate, and the masters are for the mind. And like, it's very interesting because it doesn't matter. I don't need to look at comparison or anything like that. Okay, so why did I pull to Gene Key 55? But what am I wanting to look at? I want to go to 46. I pulled to 56, actually, not 55. I'm going to go to 46, and I want to read the 46th city.
That's
okay.
my city.
Yeah, the city of ecstasy, and it's Peter's with the you guys both have the 25, the 46. The south node is in the 46 right now. So we're talking about mind, and we're talking about the heart opening, and like with the planetary right now, because the south node is in that. So now we have like this visual, okay? The nodes denote the moon, and the nodes denote where the collective is moving. Okay, it also denotes the tail of the Ouroboros, right? It's the dragon, or it's a snake eating its own tail. And so if we want to stop eating our own tail, we have to get off the wheel of samsara. How do we do that? We follow our North Star, our North Node, where the collective is, which is Gene Key 25, which is universal love. And its South Node is the 46, which in order to go any higher, we have to sublimate the astral band, okay, the emotional tyranny. How do we do that? By the mind, the power of the mind. And how do you do that? With prana, cosmic life force. Okay, well, now we know what cosmic life force is, where it's coming from, the center of the toroidal, going up to the North Pole, getting distributed out, blah, blah, blah. Now we see, like, we had a nice little, tiny little visual aid to help us with the trines and the distribution of this energy. And now we have an assimilation in our mind body and how this energy works, how it downsteps. We're not demonizing it. We know what the cosmic evil is, the Al-Qaeda, and the Elton John working together. Elton John and Al-Qaeda working together. What do you know? Okay. And man, I wish I knew some of Elton John's songs so I could just pop one into my head that would be perfect for that. But anyways, I don't. So Rocket Man. Okay. Oh, Tiny Dancer, that's a good one too. Tiny Dancer, Rocket Man, we got it all go. Okay, so we're really seeing the cosmic yoke, the cosmic joke. We're yoking here. We're balancing. We're yoking. Okay, we're doing a Raja Yoga, yoking, right, with the mind and the bigger understanding through the mind and the cosmic forces and how that's downstepping. Now, I know that was a little treacherous. Believe me, I was like, oh my God, is this ever going to end? Am I going to stop reading this book and like saying random shit that may add up or may not add up to the people that are watching this, listening to this? My God, you might have to watch this 3 times, but that's okay. We're going to figure the funk out today. Okay. And that's what we've done. And now we're like at this place of like, whoa. Okay. A total like 360 coming into this. Okay. And we're ascending into the higher planes. The only way that we do that is by yoking, right? Yoking. Now we're seeing this. So let's go into the 46. So we can look at our past. Or the South Node. It's actually, I know like the South Node is known as the past, your past life incarnations. But let's look at this as the force that we have mastered, that is assisting us, that is pushing us up into our future, our North Node, our destiny, our Dharma, from our karma to our Dharma. Okay. And so all of this mastery, which is the 46, we have mastered the 46, and within us, the city of the 46. So the shadow of the 46 is, again, it's seriousness and it's gravity, if you will. Seriousness pulls us down, right? Like gravity, or if you will, density. But it's this gravitational pull. It's gravity. Pulls us into the grave. Seriousness makes us wrinkled and haggard and not happy, which puts us into our grave. Okay, it's gravity, not gravity. So it's the gift of delight. Okay, and you got to fight for your delight. Maybe not. But in my house, if you get cookies and shit, you got to get there quick or they're gone. Okay. And the city of ecstasy, it's the codon ring of matter. It is, again, the collective SQ. It deals specifically with the blood. The blood, what have we been talking about? The blood of Christ and our karma, washing our sins clean. Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. We're going to wash our sins free. Okay, so like we're going through this process of Christ, right? Where today the sun is conjunct, right? In Regulus. We're at the heart of Regulus, right? We have that going on, which is the program. It's the star that rules the 25. It's the third seal. All right. What else do I want to get to with the blood of Christ? And the Christ has the DNA. He had to wash the sins, right? The sine waves of his past, the sins, the sine waves of his past in his DNA. And so he's known as the Rainmaker. The 46 is called the Rainmaker. And these are the beings, I'm going to skip through that one, but these are the beings that just know by faith alone that they're present. This is their job. This is their role. This is what they're here to fulfill. When the person wants rain, they call the Rainmaker. Does he have to do a dance or does he have to do anything? No, he just knows that it's his role to bring the rain, and people look at him to be the Rainmaker. So automatically all these thoughts, it is, so it has to be. Boom. And it's done. Just like Jesus, he's the Messiah, he's the way, he's the Christ, which Jesus is also a representation of the sun and Jupiter. Okay, because Jupiter is, like it just said, that we just went over this, Jupiter is the medium through which all things communicate to the gods. Okay. And because the sun in our geocentric model is closer to us, to man, than it is to the outside of the scheme, and Jupiter's further out. Okay, so it's overseeing the Heavenly Father. Wow, a lot of this shit's really making sense. So the sorcerer whose unique gift. So the rainmaker is the sorcerer whose unique gift is to influence local weather patterns and cause rainfall through magical means. In ancient times, right? Again, this is what they went to, locals went to, they knew it. And he was like, he's like, I don't make the rain. This is what, like, he's the sorcerer, right? Okay, so we'll move beyond that one. He doesn't make the rain. He's simply attuned to the places where it is about to rain. Again, this you call it grid workers, right? Just attuned to being in locations where shit's about to go down. It's going down for real. Right? This is why he doesn't have to do anything other than show up wherever he feels like going. Right? Okay, there it is. So the shadows are frigid and frivolous. What do I want to talk about this with the DNA? Okay. When a child learns, I'm actually guided to talk about this because this is our 21 years, right? The 3 sets of 21 years, 46 rules the first 7 years where everything is laid out in the motherfucking physical, where all the pain, suffering, tyranny, all of that is laid out in the physical plane. Oh my God, we made another 3-hour class. I'm sorry. I love you though for staying. I don't even realize it goes on. That's timelessness. Like that's meditation. Whenever you don't even realize that time has passed, pure meditation right there. We were just in a meditative bubble and we're not done. Okay. But I am recognizing the time, and if people need to step away, I honor that fully. Okay, just come back. Come back now. Come back now. Come back now. Okay. So this is the first 7 years. Everything is laid out in the physical. Okay. You may not remember it. Everything is pre-programmed in the womb, in the first 9 months of gestation, but how it plays out is the first 7 years. This is the key that rules it. Boom. Okay. When a child learns through their aura that life is safe and loving, their body relaxes into its natural internal harmony. What I want to say here, even though my ego wants to move forward, but what I want to point out is that everything we just went through in this call should make your body feel super relaxed and at ease, knowing the cosmic force and how it's happening, how it's downstepping, just even the little tidbits, the tingles, and like the breakdown of the Patanjali, the sutras, everything coming back into that full circle of the prana, me accidentally reading the wrong sutra, which by the way, was the first sutra I woke up to listening to this morning on my audio. Like, what? Okay, let's move on. So my point is your aura should feel really relaxed, like a child, like, everything just came full circle, right? What many people don't realize is that the body must feel safe, not the mind. Almost all human health problems can be traced back to this primary period of imprinting. If you have an ongoing health issue, then at some point, your first 7 years, your body stopped feeling safe, and somewhere inside your DNA, a gene or set of genes was either switched on or off. It is this early psychological wiring that feeds the 46th shadow of seriousness. That's really good to know. DNA, on, off. All right. And the sun is in the 31 with the earth in the 41. So we have a chance right now for us to take the reins for our monad, our collective, and to put this knowing now and put it into our bodies, like to sit there with that. Look at your 46, because collectively we're walking through this, we're doing this, right? The sun is at Regulus, the heart of the planetary cosmic system itself. We're redirecting, rewriting this. We're coming to ease and peace and understanding, right? Because now your body should feel at ease. That's the whole thing of a yoga, right? To bring the mind, body, and breath into a cohesive flow and ease. Okay. And so this is that reprogramming and the opening of the collective heart. We are the ecstatics. What, right? Our vessel, our name, our personality, no. But the divinity in us are the ecstatics that are working through us to do this, right? That are taking on these sins, these inharmonious sine waves, right? And we're harmonizing them within our blood for the masses, for the collective. We are the light, we are the way, right? Right. Okay. And we are making light, and we are letting go of this seriousness. We are coming into delight with what our role is. Our role is to be, is to play, right? But it is also to understand both of them, to be honest, to be under it. Like, I'm under you. I don't understand you, the planets fully, right? But I hear all these things, and there's like half-truthy truths in them, but then I'm pulled in other directions. And so I'm going to understand and go deeper, and I'm going to study so much and learn through my peers and come into community and connection, which is all the teachings of Christ, right? The church. And we're going to grow, right? It's so beautiful. I'm not trying to be religious, by the way. Anything that I'm saying, I'm not trying to be religious, but I am a minister, and I'm a preacher. I'm preaching, not teaching. Or maybe a little bit of both. Teachers need chalkboards. As long as I don't have a chalkboard, I'm not a teacher. Okay. Jokes. Funny. All right. Let's move this into here. There are even those who take the spiritual path too seriously, and no matter how impressive their achievements, you can see from their faces that they lack the true radiance that comes from living a lighter, more carefree life. Now, you know where this hits me right now, what just came into my mind on TikTok land? Joe Dispenza. I'm not trying to slam home brother at all. I'm not. But homie teaches about healing the body, epigenetics. I know he's already older as it is, but look how much he's aged in the last 5 years. I was watching him when he was like on Gaia TV and all that, like he was coming out with all this stuff. And like just 5 years ago, now he's all white hair. He looks old. He looks like an elder now. And it's like, what I'm saying is not that his information isn't amazing, but the way that he's been hustle, retreat. It's like, is he actually retreating or is he receiving? He's overly serious. It's an overly serious world. And so we can see this in a lot of people, right? That take this, like Ashiana Dean, even when she started this shit. I mean, mind you, it was the 90s and big, poofy shoulder pads and big hair. And she was a product of the 80s. So, I mean, she's going to have the big hair, don't care kind of thing going on. But even now, she looks really old, like really old, because she's been so serious. Even me, I can say this too. Like there's times that I'm like, why do I look so old? And it's because I'm being too serious and I got to come back into play. So this is a big, big thing. So when you're looking at people and like, and they're like in this and they're just looking haggard and run the fuck out. Like I'm talking about when you look at tarot people and all that stuff online, it's because they don't have the radiance. They're not actually in the juice. They're overly serious, although they might be spunky and happy. And this is called a facade. Right? They're wearing a face, a mask, or fillers. When these things don't move, like it might move. So, but when people like, you can go on and they're like, these things don't move. When these don't move and this doesn't move, but this is moving, there's Botox and fillers in there. FYI. I have had Botox, I think like a total of 2 or 3 times. I don't remember. Wasn't that much, but I had it done on my scar. I had it filled up, not Botox. I had filler put in my scar. My mom threw a plate at my head. It was, one of those things. before my awakening. Anyway, so there's frigid and frivolous energy, frozen energy, or overreactive seriousness, which I can see myself on the overreactive seriousness side to this key. I can see this playing out in me a lot in my life, but it wouldn't be about being frozen. It would be about, you know, being overly rigid. So the codon ring of matter, which is the ring of no matter, is what it here, delight. In order to accept something about yourself, you first have to come out of your own ignorance and own it. Acceptance equals ownership, which leads to delight. Acceptance equals ownership, which leads to delight. You may not want to own it, but you need to. Your shit smells, own it. Pick it up. Just like you would with your dog shit on the side of the road. Nobody wants to pick up the dog shit. Nobody wants to do that. But we do it because they're our dog and it's our shit and we have to pick it up. Otherwise, it's rude to leave poop on somebody else's yard. Unless you don't like them. And it's just funny. And it's not so serious. Okay. So delight is the sense of freedom. Hint that word. Delight is the sense. It's a tingle before freedom. It's also a gene key before gene key 55. It's not the gene key before gene key 55, but it's a prelim, right? And so delight is a sense of freedom that emerges from an appreciation of the richness of being alive. This gift is about feeling alive within the realm of matter. I think that's the most important. I'm going to use a different highlighter color because I want to highlight that. Delight is the sense of freedom that emerges in the appreciation of the richness of being alive in this realm. And this is the gift about feeling alive within the realm of matter. I think this is where we're squeezing the juice out of the mundane here, right? We're finding the beauty and the magic in the mundane. So let's get into the city. Okay, actually, right before the city, I'm going to read this part here in the gift. It says, synchronicity is an energy field available to absolutely anyone, whether they have the 46 gene key in their profile or not. The only prerequisite for tapping into synchronicity is delight. In other words, you must remain open to surprises, let go of where you want life to take you, and trust in a force beyond your control. Hey, that's been my shit. Delight invokes grace. This is about enjoying the ride. Delight invokes grace, and grace is that feminine spirit that cannot be stopped. And grace is what brings us, right, into our citic state. Grace is what creates that sudden leap, that quantum leap is the 22, right? It's that quantum leap that we take. That even in the last week when we were talking about the 25, or no, not last week, in my live when I was talking about the 25, that quantum leap is grace. That quantum leap in consciousness is given to us grace. But I said that we only have to meet it halfway. We just have to try. You don't have to try so hard, right? That song. You don't have to be such a try hard. You just got to get up, get up, get up, right? So this is what grace is asking us. We don't, in any other life, we would have had to been tryhards because we were trying real hard to change the genetics of a lot of lineages. Like, but we're right now in a culmination period. We're actually the preserve. We're preserving. We're actually sitting there on this conveyor belt, and we're like, yeah, good, no good, good, no good, we're the preservers of life. Oh, there's that tarot card, the preservers of life. I think that's the world, the I don't know, I have that deck of cards, so it's a tarot deck, the universal tarot. It's a beautiful deck. Anyways, the preserver of worlds, it's a woman, and it like has all these like images of preserving things like corn. And so we're preserving what is good, and we're leaving what is bad. So we're at this redemption time. So we're just redeeming the DNA. It's already been shifted. We're redeeming it and we're launching it into the next. We're creating that seventh root race, which is the final and the all. We're taking the best of all. So we don't have to work so hard to change the entire genome, right? We're just taking what we need and we're moving forward, letting go of the little things. And we're moving forward. I don't know why I needed to explain all that, but I fucking did. Okay. I know. All right. And so it means that, okay, this is about enjoying the ride. This doesn't mean that you should have no goals in life, but you should goals in life, or that you should end up being some kind of aimless drifter. It means that you hold your goals so lightly that they can be dropped if necessary at any point. To have your dreams come true in life, you have only to remember this one thing: stop being so serious. Okay, so the orgasmic inner world, this city. 1 second. Okay, he quieted him down. Okay. The 46th city is one of those cities that really is challenging to put into words. Ecstasy is not a word that most people consider when they think of themselves and their own lives. And yet it is this block at the mental level that keeps you at a frequency far from ecstasy. So again, we even have these mental blocks, right? That is the trick with these words of the cities. If you can open your heart to receive the frequencies they represent, the frequencies begin to seek you out. Okay. You have to expand yourself far enough to become one pole of the energy field, to be the negative or the attractor. This is exactly what we humans are: receiving dishes for universal frequencies. You can't make this up. Wow. Anybody else getting this? Why we just went from the down, from the up, from the prana and the cosmos all the way back down? Because we're the receiving dishes, right? Oh, you have to expand yourself, right? So we are the receiving the frequencies they represent, right? The acidic states of matter, magnetism. Oh, where did I just lose myself? Oh, I skipped something. Okay. You have to expand yourself far enough to become one pole of the energy field. We have to become the pole, the toroidal pole, or the toroidal pool, right? You have to expand yourself far enough to become the pole of the energy field. To be the negative pole or the attractor, we have to expand ourselves to be the attractor. This is exactly what we humans are: receiving dishes for universal frequencies. He says it. True that. We all just relearned it today. So if you can expand your consciousness far enough, this is page 361, far enough, then the highest frequencies actually descend into you. If you can expand yourself far enough, then the highest frequencies actually descend into you. And this is grace, baby. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. Like, we only have to try. And then and start to expand ourselves, and then the Holy Spirit grace descends into our bodies. Okay. Ecstasy is the highest frequency, and it occurs only through the heart. It is, in fact, the true, which is where we are. It is in fact the true nature of humanity. At this level of consciousness, which is really beyond all levels, the ecstatic realization of your true nature is so strong that it silences your mind the moment it is no longer needed. You may think it is impossible for a normal person to live in a state of ecstasy and function in the world. Not true at all. Ecstasy is your state whenever your mind comes to complete rest. The mind comes to complete rest. That's the silence. In other words, as soon as your mind is required in the world, the ecstatic state fades into the background of your activity, and your activity moves to the foreground. Then, as soon as your activity is complete, the ecstatic state returns. I want to go to Patanjali's sutras here, and I read the wrong one earlier, so let's go to the second book in 38. Oh yeah, no. So we'll just go to her. So what she was talking about with the 38 here with the mind. Yeah. And this is the third book of Patanjali, is the 38, the third book. And it's the Raja Yoga. And again, the basic law of science is summed up as energy follows thought, mind, brain, nervous system. There is a close connection between the mind and the nervous system, right? And this triplicity must be carefully borne in mind by the student of the Raja Yoga at the initial stage of his work. Okay, the thinker, the mind, and the brain. And so it is through an understanding of the method of energizing the nerves that the thinker can galvanize, bring to fruition, right? Galvanize, manifest, bring his goals together, its instrument into activity during incarnation, and similarly produce trance, samadhi, or death, right? So again, that's what this is talking about, or ecstasy, right? It's through the mind that we can bring this state bring us to this non-mind into this state of ecstasy. In the state, your mind is as silent as your life path dictates. Oh God. Shouldn't have came in with a Gemini rising. Never shuts the fuck up. Never shuts up. Okay, I'll stop. I won't, but about myself. But anyways, people who manifest this city cannot go unnoticed in the world. There are cities that can be hidden from most people's awarenesses, but the 46th city is not among them. The jacuzzi of love that swirls around these people is so tangible that it can even be felt by people of the densest frequency. If you are highly developed in your own frequency, you can physically feel such a person's aura from miles away. That'd be my problem. People who manifest this ecstatic city in the past have left its imprints on the place where they lived, even though they may have passed away hundreds or thousands of years ago. It is not that the 46th city is any more powerful than any other city, because in essence, they are all the same, but that this manifestation of divine consciousness lies so close to the physical realm and emerges so strongly through the physical body. Ooh, that also must mean that it has a really deep connection to what? The etheric body. The etheric body. Stillness, silence. The purpose of the ring of matter is to be penetrated completely by spirit. When this occurs, okay, the purpose of the ring of matter is to be penetrated completely by spirit. When this occurs, ecstasy is the organic result. Children who are brought into this world surrounded by the energy of delight are children who need never leave the state of ecstasy. Ecstasy also comes in waves, in orgasms that travel through the noosphere, or the universal quantum field in which we live. Remember, he was talking about OHAS and the ozone layer, and that time between 4 and 6 a.m. that brings Tejas. Yeah. Oh, your little bubble bobble fell. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Your booble bobble. Yeah, the names. Okay. The noosphere, right? Okay, so we just, yes, the universe, or it's known as the universal quantum field in which we live. The more people who experience such orgasmic energy coursing through their higher bodies, the more our planet will be transformed. Like, yo, I almost feel like I don't have any duality in me whatsoever anymore. I just in today's call, I feel like I have no resentment for Richard Rudd. I have no resentment for the way that things are playing out. I feel like I just have fucking peace and clarity and awareness of like, I just feel so fulfilled. My cup filled. I'm just letting you guys know that my cup feels super filled today after this call. Like, so filled. Okay. I had to express that in this moment. because it does. Okay. One day, very soon, entire communities around the world will experience group awakenings in this orgasmic way. Like, I just feel like now, knowing what I know of these things, like, and like how he's brought all of this esoteric information together, like, I'm so grateful for him. I don't care that he had like a polished upbringing life. If he didn't, then he wouldn't have been able to bring all this through, because I didn't have a polished upbringing life. I had a very tumultuous life. And I'll tell you right now, I was not able to focus at all to study, to be in my true power at all, like, to know any of this information. And I'm so grateful that he didn't have that trauma, that he had the ability to learn all this, to bring it all forward for us. If that was his life, which it was his life's journey, like, I'm so grateful, like, so grateful in this moment. Okay. So the orgasmic energy will actually pass like a wave through the fractal lines of humanity. There is actually no work more important on this earth than play. When we become truly playful, we reshape the nature of our collective reality. This is the great truth of the 46th city. And it is vast, and its vast importance to today's modern, over serious world. Only ecstasy can silence the mind. Only ecstasy can solve the problems of the world. Only ecstasy can lead to world peace and universal love. Those who have allowed themselves to be overcome by the 46th city are so overflowing with their own ecstasy that they rarely have been able to find words for their experience. Those who have found the words have nearly always spoken in poetry, which is the language of love. Such men and women, the ecstatics, have not always found it necessary to remove themselves from the world, but have found their love within the world of ordinary life. The 46th city revels in the experience of the marketplace, the family, and the ordinariness of the world. That's me. These people do not really care about what happens to them, because the heart makes none of the distinctions that the mind makes. Like a swallow darting about the skies, the heart swoops down upon life, playing and delighting with every waking moment, and experimenting with every conceivable experience it can find. I actually have the swallows tattooed on my lower abdomen. Interesting. The heart doesn't care a tick about success or failure, past or future, life or death. It knows only that it is alive and beating right now. And that realization floods the being with the sweetest liquid wine of ecstasy. Your ability to attune to the ecstatic nature of your body depends upon your ability to let go of your mind and open your heart. It's talking about lower mind personality. It's that aspect. It depends upon how grateful you feel towards existence for giving you this body and the experience of being alive. If you have ever felt the ecstatic feeling even once in your life, then you can recreate it. And even if you haven't felt it, you can open yourself up to it. It lies within you right now. At the exact moment of you reading this, it will always remain with you, waiting quietly within the very ventricles of your physical heart. All you have to do is invite it back into your life. I love it. So essentially, since this is where the South Node is, well, we remember a time of ecstatic peace, laughter, joy, and happiness as a collective. So how could we stimulate that? Right? There's an experience right now of like that's, I can say it's being showing, and I can see it in a positive spin. I know the Miami. Ooh, maybe that's coming. Oh, Margie, move. She's like, I've got to be here, bitch. I know. Not bitch in a bad way. We never mean it that way, by the way. Anybody that's still here knows that. So this Maui experience can be likened to how like the collective all came together during 9/11, right? They all rallied together, at least the Americans, even the Canadians, you know, rallied together. The whole world came together like, wow, they just got terrorists attacked, right? These Twin Towers, blah, 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 terrorists, my ass. But anyways, the gathering that came together was like amazing, right? It was a huge rise up. And we can see this, oh, you did? And we can see this playing out like right now with the Maui, right? Except now it's even more in our face. Our eyes are so open. You cannot deny the dewiness. You cannot deny like the bluiness that's just abstained from being burnt. It's just the blue, right? Blue in the dew, Mountain Dew, blue dew. Anyways, Mountain Dewy blue. So we can see this, and that's what's going to open the heart, because the heart is like, I mean, there's anger and frustration, and there's all the layers of grief that the collective is going to go through, but ultimately it's going to bring them into their heart, right? It definitely made more people sign up for the military, which in our programming and indoctrination, joining the military is one of the biggest things that you can do to support your country at large. And that's the programming that you're sold. Now, has it been that way and been used that way? No, it's been used to murder people and blow up beautiful sites. But in the programming and how I get through knowing that I was in the military and a part of this, blowing up these sacred sites, is I was doing what was best in my heart to serve my country, but not knowing what was going on. That was my fault for not reading any further into it. That's my arrogance. And that's what I have to, you know, maybe that's where some of my karma comes from even, you know, like I look at this stuff all the time, my actions and my karma that come from that. But in my heart of hearts, when we say that we're a veteran or that we served in the military, it's that we didn't just serve our local cities, you know, on a governing board or on a school board, but we went and we literally said, I'm going to, you know, sacrifice my life to go out there to save yours so that your children can be safe at home. And that's a mentality that a lot of us hold. But, you know, when we come through this awakening process, part of the reason that I didn't really ever talk about being in the military is because I was ashamed of it. You know, because I'm like, oh my God, I just helped destroy so many people and damn it, you know, so it's a shame that falls over us. But I can see this rising up. I can see like how, you know, this is all going to play out in a really benefic way, even though it seems like the darkness is like just going to go and the agenda, and the bricks and all the things and the dollar and all that stuff will happen to an extent. But don't forget, we got the rally. Don't forget, we got the underdog. America is the motherfucking underdog, and the underdog always wins, right? Just think of that. I'm thinking of Rudy from Notre Dame, football player, like tiny little football player, right? Gets to play the very last game, right? You know, he's like got that come up, and then they're like, at the end. So that's like what comes to my, that's what's coming through my mind. I haven't even watched that movie in so long though. I mean, I think I've seen it twice ever in my life. Anyways, but I feel like that underdog energy, that South Node energy, like it's coming in, that 46, like over seriousness is coming out, you know, and it's coming back into that delight because we can all tap into that. We've all had lives where it's just abundant, even at this life, but it's also past lives. And what is the most abundant life that we've ever had? What are we entering right now? The golden age, the golden dawn, the golden age. It's the golden dawn. It's bringing in the new age. It's bringing in the seventh root race, right? And so the golden age. So we have memory of the golden age. The beginning is the end, and the end is the beginning. So if you have the snake eating its own tail, okay, right? South Node 46, heart needs to open to remember that. So we're going to have an experience that's going to open our hearts to remember that much love, that much ease, that much playfulness, whatever that is. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to sit here and try to be a predictor. I am just going to read off these books and stuff, but it's 4:30 over here on my time, which means that we have been going for at least 3 hours and 20 minutes or 10. So I'm going to say that we're going to close today off with so much gratitude and love. And okay, so hold on. I'm guided to say this. I'm going to close this off with this sutra, and I think it's from the 3rd book. It says at the bottom, it says book 3. I'm sort of looking through pages. I can now look at the bottom. Okay. And the 8 major cities alluded to here are. These are the 8 major cities that are alluded to. Anima, to become very small. Mahima, to become very big. Lagima, to become very light. Garima, to become very heavy. Parita, to reach anywhere. Rakamaya, to achieve all one's desires. Ishatava, ability to create anything. Vashitava, ability to command and control everything. And that's the 46. That's the 46th sutra in the 3rd book. Done. I can't make it up. I just can't. I'm not that good. I'd love to give myself credit, but I'm not. But like the oracle said, initiation by water, your spiritual path in this lifetime involves becoming a clearer channel for spirit. And you are meant to communicate with higher guidance from the loving worlds. Your initiation by water will further open your receiving channels, dislodge lower vibrational material, and sensitize you to the subtle realms of light. You are being opened to a world of which you may only have dreamed. Such is its beauty, grace, and love. Boom. And do you want me to pull a card for everybody else today, or I'm gonna pull a card. Oh, it's magic. Today we started yesterday was the big, whoa, hold on, wait. We're in the wave spell. So today's the 23rd. It's white resonant wind. And it's that face that's like this. Smile face with the Mayan deck. Smile face is what I call it. I don't need the cards. I just need to know. Or maybe I do, because then I don't have to go through all the deck. Oh, wait, I'll just open the book. Let's read what that one is, because that's what I was actually guided to earlier to say. Where did it go? Oh, that's the numbers. No, I want faces. Give me the whole wheel so I can find it. There it is. Okay. Where's the tongue sticking out? This, it's annoying. I don't know which one it is. Because these are different placards than the one that are on the calendar. That's annoying. So, okay. We can just go by it one by one. Con? I don't know idea. So never mind. I don't know. It's the white resonant wind. Do you guys know what that looks like? Where's my, I don't know, that's that. White resonant wind. Okay. So we could just end it. I'll just end it on that. And I'll just pull a regular card. The Key of Light 26 is what I pulled. The Key of Light 26. And Peter, you're still here. I thought you left. Okay, Key of Light. Archangel Michael loves you unconditionally and serves your soul's journey. He brings you a spiritual gift now, the Key of Light. This key allows you to open any door, clear away any obstruction, and free yourself from any prison or enslavement, physical, emotional, or psychological. There is no need for you to feel trapped or locked out of a situation you want to get into. Oh, I need that one. You now hold within your hands, a divine key that will assist you in many ways. Get unlocking, people. Any blocks you got, go stick that key in it. You know you want to stick it before you lick it. I'm kidding. Sorry. My adult mind. I'm playful like that though. I don't have to explain myself. I do because it was inappropriate, but I think it's funny. Stuff like that to me is funny. I'm very perverted mind. I have a mind of a 16-year-old, 17-year-old a lot of the times. I think I stopped growing at that point. It's like, fuck maturing. But anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here in class and bringing through this beautiful transmission. Again, we're at the heart. This is a lot that we're bringing through for the collective. And I'm just very grateful to share this space every Wednesday with you guys. And I look forward to next week and unfolding more of the sutras. I think that would be very interesting. And I would like to say that I would like to know what's going on next week, but I don't. And next week I'll know. So I'll see you next week and we'll just figure it out then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye, kiddos.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Dale. And I was in Miami when I did all that, Marjorie. I should have said hello.
Oh, very cool.
But thanks. How the hell do I get out of here?
He's still in it.
That's what I was just
Yeah.
thinking, like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
No.